I feel like we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Kpush podcast. Today, we have Bryant Smith on for episode 143.
Holy shit, this has been going on a while. I had
Three
no idea.
years. 3 years. Well, what happened was, I always kind of say this, is that I started doing comedy at 16. I started the podcast at 17. And then I started doing stand-up at 18.
Hot damn.
So I wrote my first joke down, like my official first joke at 16. And then I called a bunch of different comedy clubs, like, hey, what's going on? Do you guys have open mics or whatever?
Yeah,
I
hey,
didn't.
can I get on at this age? That
Right,
sort of thing.
exactly. They were all like, fuck off, come back
Yeah.
when you're 18.
Yeah.
Especially Boston. It's a little different here in
Yeah.
Austin. It's way more looser for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Like, yeah.
Definitely. And you get a lot more outdoor places like the tiniest bar in Texas
Right.
where, because it's an outdoor venue and you're not actually in the bar, all ages can go. I've seen I think the kid was like 8.
That's so crazy.
Dude,
I love
that shit drives me insane. It makes me so mad because typically when you're seeing someone that's like 16, that's like, dude, I want to do comedy. It's all I've ever wanted in life. I want to be a comedian. I'm gonna call up these clubs, see if they'll let me in. Those are the people that are doing it for themselves. Those are the people that are like you, doing things the right way, coming up, paying your dues, all that jazz. But there's been this influx, and like I've seen like every major scene has one or two of them, of these kids that are 8, 9 years old, 7 years old, maybe even 11 years old, 12 years old, that are doing comedy, and their parents are comics, and their parents have been on the open mic grind forever and aren't getting any traction. And so they're when I was coming up, I did like community theater in high school, and I did college level theater and all that. We had a lot of stage moms. And that's when it's like 8, 9, 10 year olds, when I see that, I'm seeing like a stage mom is like, I couldn't hack it, so I'm going to live vicariously through my kids. And that fucks with me bad.
That is insane.
Yeah.
See, I haven't seen any of that yet, but I fucking believe you.
You will.
I
It's out
imagine
there.
I will.
I mean, there was that one kid that was on, like, she made it through. Actually, the one I saw here, she made it through on that, like, Kenan Thompson showcase deal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it couldn't be more obvious that her parents are writing all of her material, and that's not to say there's anything wrong with having a ghostwriter, especially if you are at a certain level. Having a ghostwriter is fine. It's you look at like the George Carlins of history, where they were putting on a special every year, putting on a new hour every year. Obviously, they had people helping them. They had a team, but
Well, that's Chris Rock, famously.
yeah, Chris Rock definitely has
Right.
a team.
I think it's okay if you have a ghostwriter. You just got to be fucking straight up about it.
Yeah, you don't pretend like you're the one doing all the writing. I would love to be someone's ghostwriter. I would love to get paid to write for fucking Tom Segura or some shit like that, or Ron White, because like Ron White famously, if he likes one of your jokes, he'll buy it off of you.
Wow.
That's the legend I've heard, is that that's the rumor I've heard, is that like he'll straight up give you money, like, and not an insignificant amount. Like, the story I heard was, it was a comic was offered like $1,000 for a joke. Wow. And just like cash money right there.
Right.
And and I don't know that I would sell a joke like that. It would depend on the joke, because like, if it's one of my flagship jokes, if it's the one about me coming in my belly button, that one's mine. That one's mine. I'm not giving that away. But if it's a throwaway I don't like and Ron White wants it, fuck yeah. I'm never gonna tell that joke again. But anyone that stays still long enough, they're like, Ron White bought one of my jokes, man. That's the coolest thing that ever fucking happened, man. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, the like stage mom stuff, like, just drives me up the wall.
It almost seems like dance moms, like a
Yeah,
reality
100%.
television like sort of figure who has failed right, at comedy, and now they're going to, like you said, relive. But that's so weird for a 12-year-old to be doing stand-up.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. It's very bizarre, especially when we're talking about, a lot of these kids that are doing comedy, like the one that was like going up when I was leaving my home scene back in Tennessee. Kid's 12 years old and is doing like this overly sexual material and gross out material and stuff like that, and they're trying to get skin crawl going. And it just, to me, it's just inappropriate. It's inappropriate. It's a bad look for your scene. It's a bad look for your venue. It's a bad look for comedy in general.
You don't want anyone to push you to stand-up comedy.
Yeah, you don't want to. It does happen,
Sure.
but like, you know, I got started because of a bad breakup, like a lot of people, you know.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
I mean, that's almost different. You were looking for like a new drug.
an outlet, yeah.
Right. And thank Christ you found stand-up.
Yeah, because the other option was going to be taking a gun to the mall. So the other,
That's common.
Yeah.
A lot of people say like, "Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't be here without comedy." But a lot of people are like, "Yeah, no, they're just joking about that."
Yeah.
No.
No, with me, I definitely, if it wasn't for comedy, I would not be here. I wouldn't have gone alone, and I wouldn't have gone quietly, but I would not be here without comedy. And now here I am, fucking booking shows, hosting shows in the biggest market in the world. So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So you're great. Let me kind of preface this.
Aw.
You're a fucking great comic.
Oh, buddy,
I
thank
love you fucking when you go up or when you're hosting, you have this fucking great energy that you pull out of people. It's like you and Simply Courtney and Derek Dimful, they can all fucking just rip fucking energy out of that crowd. A dead crowd, like a crowd that just doesn't even want to be there, and you guys can fucking pull energy out of that crowd.
Yeah. It's why, especially when it's like a dead night, I open up was like, hey, comics, this is called energy. Give it a try.
Right.
Because everyone, and this is a thing I've noticed a lot, and like, you're not guilty of this really so much, but like, I notice a lot of comics try to go for that more demure, understated delivery a la a Mark Normand, or, more to my generation, oh, fuck, I forgot his name. Don't do drugs, kids. Shit, he's the GOAT. Fuck. Norm Macdonald. There we go. Going for that Norm Macdonald, Mark Norman kind of understated, dry delivery that's kind of quieter. And, like, Norm could get away with it, and Mark can get away with it because they make themselves the idiot at the end of the day. And Norm Macdonald famously said, nobody wants to pay you for you to tell them that you're the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
So, I can't be quiet and stupid. I have to be loud and stupid. Right. So when I get up there, I'm like, let's fucking go. I'm gonna swallow a balloon full of cocaine and see what the fuck happens. I'm up there like fucking, like, I'm up there like full Alex Jones energy when I get on stage. And I feel like, to be able to do that sort of subdued delivery, you have to know how to do it in big first. You have to do it big and then draw it in.
Yes.
And like craft wise, I think it's very important that, comics, find their own voice, but try that out because that might be what your voice is.
Well, the thing is that if you're a comic in 1980 and you're trying to get started, how many specials do you have?
Exactly.
10, 20, 30 at most, and you have to go to like Blockbuster, rent them out or buy them. Rather now you can get hours, endless hours of there is hours of Dave Chappelle doing stand-up comedy for 7 hours.
Yeah.
On stage.
Yeah.
Where he's just going for 7 hours. That's crazy.
Yeah. Which that is an insane amount. That kind of marathon comedy, it's not for me. But you also got to remember Chappelle's like just built different. He's a monster. He was doing his extra hours in Central Park in the 80s, 90s.
Right.
Where he just had like a little amp set up and was just doing material to passersby with a hat out. And because of that, we got, Chappelle's show.
Right.
So, but also we get, sometimes he goes on a little long, in my opinion. But
anyone at 7 hours you can't be good at 6 hours.
Yeah,
you can't.
Be.
No one
You
can.
got to be tired. Like I do a half an hour. I do a 45-minute set, and I am exhausted. I do when I have to host like a 2-hour show. Like my Monday show is about a 2-hour show, which we're trying to pare that down a little bit, and give people more time, less comics, more time, kind of a deal. But like that's a 2-hour show, and I leave that show and I can't do fucking anything else that night. Even if it's like the best show, and like there are nights where I will go to like Axis, shout out Axis, or I'll go to Shakespeare's Pub, shout out Shakespeare's mic. I'll go to one of those Monday mics and do time there, but you're not getting me at 100% when that happens. You're getting a very tired me that sometimes is very funny, but it's not gonna be the it's not gonna be the best comic.
Right.
It's
right,
not gonna be the best version of me.
I would always say this, like, when you go up on stage, you gotta be the best.
Yeah.
You gotta be not like you have to be the best like Michael Jordan, but you have to be the best of you.
Yeah.
For however long a time to be on stage, because you have to entertain people, and to
Exactly.
entertain people, you gotta be top notch. And like Kill Tony is being amazing for 1 minute, and how many people struggle with that?
Dude, it's insane how many people struggle with that.
Oh, let alone, and I'm not saying it's not hard. It is hard, but let alone now you're talking about Dave Chappelle doing 7
fucking hours. Like, I'm sorry, I don't even want to. I don't even want to watch anything for 7 hours.
No,
you know,
no.
it's your audience is going to be exhausted too. So like, but you know, it's a testament to him and his staying power and what an absolute genius Dave Chappelle is.
Right.
I just don't have that fucking. I got that dog in me, but that dog in me is a Saint Bernard. He's tired. He's sleepy. He's seepy eepy. He's got the eepies. So that's kind of the way, you know, that dog in me hunts. But yeah, it's incredible though, just like the sheer talent here. And speaking of, like, you know, being the best version of you, this is something simply Courtney and I, because we talk on the phone, like, not quite every day, but we talk on the phone pretty regularly.
Sure.
And he called me last night, and I was exhausted because I had, like, day job that morning. Then I had, I went to this professional bull riding competition at the Moody Center.
Dude, that's so funny.
Dude, they had a bull named Border Crisis. I shit you not. They had the goddamn Border Patrol there fucking recruiting. It was fucking crazy. It was, and like, the bulls are terrifying. You know, they're throwing fully grown men 6-10 feet in the air. Border Crisis fucked someone up. Like, it was great. It was a lot of fun. But it's the most redneck shit ever. So we get done with that. I'm at home. I'm exhausted. I'm like plugging my phone up because it's about to die, and I'm just like listening to mariachi music and trying to put myself to sleep.
Sure.
And Simply calls me. He just wants to bullshit because he had gotten last minute put up on a show, and he wanted to sort of, you know, unpack that and his feelings on that and how he did and all that. And that's sort of the conversations we have a lot of. But for the last few nights, we've been talking about this a lot, is as a comedian, you're not clocking in when you grab the microphone. You clock in when you get to the venue.
Yes.
You're there. And part of what you're doing is, like, if it's a mic, your job is to socialize with other comics, to make friends, to engage with other people. When you're at a show, when you're doing a showcase, your job is to engage with the audience beforehand, before and after. So if you're doing your hour before the show, you are out in the lobby saying hello. You are out at the tables. Hey, so glad you guys came out. You guys excited for the show? We got a really good one for you tonight. That sort of thing. And then after the show, if you have merch, you're at your table, you're selling your merch. If you don't have merch, you are floating around talking about, hey, did you like the show? Oh my God, yeah, it was so funny. That thing about you fucking shitting in your dog's ass was incredible. You know, whatever. And craft wise, like, you know, that's how you're gonna get, you know, those Instagram followers. That's how you're gonna get butts in the seats in the next show. And so, like, it's so important to do that. And, like, you're really good at that. There are a lot of people here that are really good at that. And there are a lot of people that are fucking dog shit at it.
Yeah.
If we're being honest. And I'm not going to drop names on the people that are
don't
dog
need
shit
to.
at it, because I don't want to be that guy. But, like, off the air, I will point out a handful. I was like, this guy sucks at it. This guy sucks at it. This gal sucks at it. But it's so important to do. And, like, you know, especially because, like, if you're doing a show that's like a mixed venue, like a bar venue, which both of my shows that I'm currently hosting are that way.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. At the Boat ATX every Monday night at 7:45, and at the Dig Pub in Cedar Park, Texas, every Friday night at 8.
Which I think I'm doing the Boat in September.
Yeah, you're on the Boat in September. I got to look at the calendar. I don't think you're on the 9/11 show.
No, I don't think so. I think you
that's
said
the
the
big
18th.
Yeah, you're on the 18th. You're the week after, which that one's also going to be good if it happens. I'm going to go ahead and plug it. We've got an amazing. We've got a show coming up tomorrow, the 28th, that I won't be there because I'm doing. I've got some friends in from out of town, so we're going to try and unalive Anthony, and then we're taking the 4th off because it's Labor Day. There's no sense in trying to compete with that. So I'm taking like a 2-week break from the show. The show's going to take a 1-week break. Then I'm going to come back, and our first show back is September 11th.
Oh, you're coming full blazing.
There is a chance that will be our last show. There's a very good chance that's going to be our last show.
9/11 show.
Oh, God, because, like, that show, I've got some of the filthiest people in town on it. Like, obviously, I'm on it, and I'm pretty filthy, but I've got Kenny Buttons headlining, doing 20 minutes, and he's gnarly. I have Mike Hudak. If you've never met him, Mike Hudak runs.
I know the name.
Yeah, he runs I think it's Brian's Mic is the name of it. He runs the mic at Anderson Mill Pub on Tuesdays.
Oh, yes.
And he's an absolute monster. I've got Sam Nurani on it.
Yep.
I've got Hooch. I've got
Hooch.
I've got them 3 boys. I've got Hooch. I've got Hunter Parker, and I've got Isaac Brown.
Dude, Hooch has made a lot of fucking improvement.
Dude,
he's been writing.
He works his ass off.
I love it. I love when someone fucking lights the fire up my ass.
Dude,
like, look at that. Look at that.
Look at what that dude's doing.
Look at what he's doing.
Yeah.
You fucking better get to work.
Yeah, it's like, and that's a good mentality to have. Is like, don't look at it as like, look at that, you lazy piece of shit, and being mean to yourself. Right. But look at it as like, man, if I don't work hard to keep up, I'm gonna get left behind. I'm gonna get completely left behind.
Yeah,
and. I see, I worry about that with you kids. I've been doing comedy for 9 years. I've been doing comedy for a long fucking time. And, like, I'm seeing how much you youngins are growing right under me. I'm like, fuck, I have got to be working hard.
Dude, Kent Hunter, man.
Kent Hunter is a monster. He is built different. As soon as he learns how to permanently keep that microphone up by his chin, he's going to be unstoppable. And I can say that, Kent, you piece of shit. I can say that to Kent, though, because, like, oh, man, the last time he was on my show, I gave him the feature spot. Yep. So he was doing 15. And I told him, and I fucking forgot to pack it. I was going to get my gel blaster that I got from Kill Tony. No big deal. I was going to get my gel blaster, and every time that mic dipped below his chin, every time it did that, I was going to shoot him. I was going to fucking shoot him. And then I fucking forgot to charge the thing because you have to leave the BBs soaking in a gallon of water for 2 hours, and I don't have a fucking gallon of fucking water. I don't have a gallon receptacle to put these sons of bitches in. Right. I'm so fucking, oh God. Although, I want to say it's because, it's like, oh, I'm drinking filtered tap water is better for the environment, whatever. No, I just mostly drink beer because I'm a fucking degenerate animal. I'm a fucking piece of shit.
Here's the thing, dude. I like all these there's by the way, we're having Kent Hunter on next Saturday. I'm fucking pumped to have him. I
cannot wait
podcast.
to hear that episode.
Oh,
show him this clip of me telling him, keep your fucking mic up, dude.
I'll make sure to fucking push that shit to his face. But you are a fucking comic.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking love it. I like Nick V and I like Kenny Buttons, but they're on this fucking whole journey of not drinking and being sober, and I support that. But also, when I thought of a comic, I thought of a degenerate drinking, smoking marijuana, fucking just savage. Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, Bert Kreischer, which, it is killing him, but it's also killing me. So I can't talk. But, Bert, fucking Ron White. Ron White sobered up a lot, though, because that's the thing is a lot of the older generation, your Ron Whites, your oh fuck, what's his name? Jesus, Bill Burr. Bill Burr's sober now. Well, sober-ish. Like he did ayahuasca, and now he like just smokes weed, and I think he has like a scotch here and there.
Right.
You have your guys like that are cleaning up their act, but then you have your Rogans that are, he'll have his scotch on his show, he'll have a cigar on his show. He smokes so much fucking weed. You have your Burt Kreischer and Kreischers who are complete animals. So like my like comedy hero, my guy that I look up to is Doug Stanhope.
Oh yeah,
I'm a big time Doug Stanhope guy. Obviously Norm Macdonald guy.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. Now that I say it, you're like, fuck, he does worship the ground Stanhope walks on. That makes all the sense in the world. He's also a fucking piece of shit. A drunk piece of shit that chain smokes and just glares at everyone from the stage.
I don't know if you've seen that.
That's actually my best Stanhope impression. Oh, these motherfuckers.
I don't know if you've seen that one clip of Doug Stanhope. It's my favorite clip. And he's at the show or whatever, and he goes, "You guys ever try and sleep sober?" And the whole crowd
just loses it.
Like screams with a roar, dude. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and this is a fun sort of like anecdote. I met Stanhope a couple of times.
Really?
The town I'm from, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Doug Stanhope and Bill Burr have both gone on record as saying that it's like their low-key favorite town to do comedy in.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where's this again?
Chattanooga, Tennessee. So it's southeast Tennessee. It's about halfway between Atlanta and Nashville.
I've never heard this before. Okay.
But yeah, they both gone on podcasts. Bill Burr has gone on a podcast and said like Chattanooga, Tennessee rules, do comedy there. Because if you're a big act, we have 2 big-ass theaters that are always aching for comedy. And one of the theaters has like 4 different theaters in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They're huge buildings. The Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Auditorium and then the Tivoli. And beautiful, beautiful old theaters. The Tivoli, I think, has been there since like the fucking 20s or some shit. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, so Bill Burr's, if you're a big touring comic, it's halfway between Atlanta and Nashville. So if you're going one direction or the other, stop off in Chattanooga.
Right.
It's a chill town, beautiful views because it's like right in the hills of the Smoky Mountains. So we're right in the foothills of it. You get beautiful views, fun, dumb, touristy shit to do.
That's great.
Any of your people that like live in the Southeast, anyone that's listens to this show has seen those barns that say "See Rock City." Rock City is in Chattanooga. It's this it's literally just like a pathway up the hill, up Signal Mountain or Lookout Mountain. But it's like a giant tourist trap that's been there for 100 years. And it's super cool. And
dude,
so you
this
get
sounds
that.
awesome.
Dude, yeah, I'll bring you sometime.
There are a lot of these little, like, very niche pit stops with comedy that are fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Huntsville, Alabama's like
I was born in one of them, Erie, Pennsylvania.
I hear Erie is fun.
So Erie has one comedy club, and it's okay. The comedy, it's fine. It's fine. It's not great. It's not bad. It's fine. But Pittsburgh, 2 hours away. Cleveland, an hour and a half away. Harrisburg, 6 hours away. Philadelphia, 4 hours away. New York City, 5.5 hours away. That's 5 major comedy scenes.
5 huge markets.
All within a 6-hour drive.
So
huge.
So obviously, when people are going between, they're not wanting to drive the 12 hours from Boston to New York or whatever, or Philly to New York. So they're going to take the stop off in Erie, and do their time. Like Stanhope used to do that a lot because he would be doing Nashville, be on his way to Atlanta, or he would fly into Atlanta and be on his way up to Nashville, and he would stop in Chattanooga, and he would do drop-ins at my home bar.
Oh wow!
And my home bar is like, I don't know what the actual capacity is. I know every time I went to like a big show there, if the fire marshal came through, everyone was getting thrown out. It's this beautiful punk bar. It's one of the top 100. Consequence of Sound listed it as one of the top 100 legendary punk bars in the country. Is JJ's Bohemia in Chattanooga, Tennessee, run by my very good friend John Shoemaker. He's owned this place for like 30 years. I'm kidding, John. I know you're not that old. But like Doug Stanhope would do drop-ins there, and some nights he'd just be like, I don't want to do like comedy. Can I just host tonight? And he would host the open mic. And it was fucking crazy. And then the other time I met him, he was doing this other bar, which unfortunately closed this year because it was bought up by a bunch of fucking carpetbaggers. Bunch of fucking Yankees buying up all the cool shit in this city and turning it into Nashville. And Nashville is the most drab place I've ever been. It has no personality.
Really?
Nashville sucks. I fucking hate Nashville.
Oh, wow.
There are people there I like. My little brother lives there.
Right.
But I fucking hate Nashville. But yeah, there was this bar called The Honest Pint that, like, back in the 1800s was a brothel.
Okay.
And they had, like, gutted it out. They took all the doors from, like, the rooms and, like, put them on the ceiling.
That's
it was
so
super cool. It was super cool.
Oh,
and
wow.
The place was crazy haunted, but everything in Chattanooga is kind of a little haunted.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there were a bunch of Civil War battles there, and then, a giant prostitution thing. Like, they had a tunnel that went from this brothel to the mayoral mansion. Right. Because that's how they got the girls back and forth to the mayor back in the day. But yeah, Stanhope did that, and this is like I think it's like a 300 or 400 person venue, maybe 5.
Yep.
He packed it out, obviously. And this was another instance of, like, he was on tour with Junior Stopka and some other guy who I don't know, or I don't know him personally, but I can't remember his name. But he was on tour with him, and, like, the guy that booked it was like, do you want any local talent? He was like, yeah, get me someone local. And he gets my buddy Ben Dalby, who's still in Chattanooga. And Ben was going to be the host for the night. He was going to be the local guy that hosted. Stanhope gets there and goes, I don't want to do time tonight. I'm going to host. You, local guy, you're going to headline. And Ben Dalby headlined the Doug Stanhope show.
Whoa.
He did like 30 minutes. It was incredible.
Whoa.
It was absolutely insane. It was such a good time. But yeah, we would get like crazy talent like that through. We'd get, Doug Stanhope. We get Billy Wayne Davis all the time through there because he lives in North Georgia.
I'm not sure. I know that name. I'm not too sure. I know the material.
He did like a couple of the voices on the Squidbillies. Like he's he worked for Cartoon Network.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Actually, there are a couple of people that have worked for Cartoon Network that have come through there. Fucking Billy Wayne, who I saw every time he came through, but I never got to open for him. And then if you've ever seen the show Dream Inc. on Adult Swim,
I know the name.
The guy that's the lead main for that, Ahmed Barucha, I've opened for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like we would get crazy talent like that through all the time. And then the other reason why Chattanooga rules, and this is another thing, the fucking carpetbaggers are taken from us. Doug Stanhope had gone on record that his favorite bar in the world was in Chattanooga. It was this place called The Office that was attached to a Days Inn. It was like the hotel bar for a Days Inn, but it was rowdy. You could smoke inside. Fucking, they did karaoke like 4 nights a week.
Oh,
there were fights there all the time. Like a buddy of mine tried to get an open mic started there, and the guy pulled a knife on him over a joke. Like it was rowdy.
Wow,
dude. Yeah, it was. I've got to get you out there, dude. I got to get you out there.
Oh, dude, I would so go.
I don't know if you're like a metal guy or anything like that, but like there was one time.
I can get down.
Yeah. So for the big metalheads, this will be even bigger. That fucking venue JJ's, and this was before my time. I didn't get to see this, unfortunately, but one time they like had a show canceled and they had nowhere else to go, so Napalm Death did a show there. And Napalm Death is like a legendary metal band. Legendary. And they were like up there like, we haven't done a show in a venue this small in like 30 fucking years. Let's go. Dun, 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 dun. And fucking just shredded it. So yeah, I've got to get you out there, man. And I say that to like all the comments, like, you gotta fucking go, but like there's also reasons I left. But
right.
Yeah, it's incredible, and there's so many cool small towns like that.
Yeah, there are, just right in the middle of like these two like whatever the major things are.
Yeah, these like weird little hubs, and they're always fun.
Dude, and
sorry, I just went on a whole tangent there.
Dude, no, that was fantastic. That was great. I'm there are a lot of ways that I can take with that conversation. I guess I'll take it this way. You big metalhead fan?
I am. So
that's cool.
I had like I grew up with like radio metal, like new metal and shit, like in the early 2000s, which that stuff's mostly garbage. Disturbed's trash, fucking Mudvayne's trash.
Slipknot. You big Metallica fan?
I like old Metallica. Like lately, I've got a playlist on Spotify, and fucking I'll send you the link. You can put it in the comments. I've got a metal playlist I put together called Brutal Metal No Five Finger Death Punch this time, and it's like Necrophagus and Dying Fetus and Cattle Decapitation and Death Clock, which, yes, I know Death Clock is his Metalocalypse. It's a show on Adult Swim, but Brendan Small put together some good fucking music. But yeah, so I listen to a lot of that shit. But like my tastes in music are fucking weird, man. I'm all over the page.
Me too.
Like I said, I was listening to mariachi last night. On the way over here, I was listening to Russian hard bass.
Wow.
I've fallen in love with Russian hard bass because it's just bassy shit in your face, and then Russian guys yelling like, "Yes, I am Gopnik. I drink your vodka." Yeah, it's fucking great.
Dude, you are a weird dude,
I am
man.
a weird cat. I get that a lot.
I love it so much.
I've on numerous occasions been accused of being a figment of someone's imagination. I wish that was a joke. That's the fucking truth. I've had multiple people be like, "Am I having a psychotic episode right now?" Oh, fuck.
Who is this man?
Yeah.
Dude, that is weird. That is awesome. I really do like that. I thought my music taste was weird because I like Queen and 90s hip hop. So, but
I mean, both of those are good. Both of those are excellent.
It's great. It's great.
And dude, remind me after the show. I'll send you a link to them. These guys, they're called Coast Contra.
Okay.
And they do like that 90s hip hop style, kind of thing. And they kind of got this Wu-Tang Clan thing going on because it's like 4 or 5 of them.
Oh, that's great.
Just tearing shit off
of
your fucking desk like a fucking animal.
Oh, dude, I love. That's honestly my favorite type of hip hop is the newer hip hop that sounds like it. That sounds
like the old school stuff. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely. And that like 90s throwback kind of shit is coming back.
Yeah.
We're seeing a little bit of a resurgence in that, and it's like right alongside this resurgence of early 2000s fashion.
Yeah.
Which I fucking warned you people was coming. I warned you. I lived through it. It's the worst. The frosted tips will return. As has been prophesied. Hide your children. Hide your women. Hide your hair. I'm going to get frosted tips on my fucking mullet. I'm gonna sing a fucking. I'm gonna learn to play banjo and do a cover of fucking Bye 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 or one of the fucking Timberlake things. Yeah. One of those NSYNC songs. Fucking get the fucking Timberlake like ramen hair, but just all the way down my mullet, which I think turns it into a Jerry curl. Which I think I would get canceled for getting a Jerry curl.
The early 2000s music is super, super interesting because it's right after the 90s.
Yeah.
And the 90s is, I always say the best 2 decades for music was 70s and 90s.
I can definitely see that. I like a lot of new wave, so I like a lot of stuff that came out of the 80s. And I like a lot of metal, and there was metal and punk, and there was like there was a resurgence in metal and punk in the 80s, especially with the advent of like speed metal. We got a lot of good Metallica in the 80s. We got fucking Megadeth, things like fucking shit. Damn it, they sang The Trooper. Fuck.
Yeah,
Don't do drugs, kids. Iron Maiden, there we go. Fucking Maiden. And like bands like that. And the 80s is when Ozzy sort of split off from Black Sabbath and became Ozzy. And then we got late 70s, early 80s, and we got the Ronnie James Dio Black Sabbath, which is incredible. And then you're also into that kind of thing. Look up Rainbow with Dio because that's his other band before he just became Dio.
Dude, that's fucking. You're like a wealth of information when it comes to art, man.
It's because I'm fucking autistic, dude.
Dude, I fucking
I'm fucking
love
retarded.
it.
Oh, I appreciate it. But yeah, I just, I'm a student of life, and I try to be a student of life, and I encourage other people to be a student of life and try shit,
Right.
It's why, like, and I'm bad about it. I'm so bad about inviting people out because it's usually so fucking last minute when I do it. But I'll go to like Kick Butt Coffee and just see a punk show there out of the blue.
Right.
And get introduced to bands that I would have never fucking heard of.
There's a lot of great musicians in Austin.
Oh my God, there's
so many.
Next time I see them playing, because they play all over town, next time the Genders is playing, I'm going to take you to see them, because especially with you liking like that kind of old school rock and roll, fucking 70s rock and roll, you would love the Genders. You would absolutely adore them.
I'm a big 70s rock guy.
You would love these
guys. Huge 70s rock guy.
I would compare them almost to like Aerosmith, like the best parts of Aerosmith, the best parts of the Stones, like
oh wow,
just incredible. But like, so the night I saw them, it was like them opening, and then the closing band was this punk band called Hans Gruber and the Diehards. That's just like good old fashioned fucking punk rock.
Okay.
So like, and I'm just, this is a flat out plug. Alyssa, if you're listening, I'm plugging your fucking bar. Get me in again. Get me on the guest list again. God damn it. I'm kidding. But no, Kick Butt Coffee puts on, they do like a mic, they do comedy shows. They've got like a comedy festival that's a couple of days that's coming up in November. Which once again, I wasn't invited to be on that, even though I've opened for the fucking guy that runs it like twice. He can never remember me. And I get it. Like he's opening for Eddie Pepitone on the road right now. So fucking, what are you going to do? But Kick Butt Coffee, follow them on the socials because they have kick-ass shows.
Yeah.
All the time. Like I've seen so many crazy shows. I got to see the Coffin Cats there. They're an old school like rockabilly punk band. And they're like horror themed rockabilly. So, it's like they're saying like I'm a corpse grinder baby. Like that kind of shit. Although that's a different band, but yeah, it's fucking awesome stuff. And like I got the shit beat out of me in a pit.
Really?
in the mosh pit at that show. And I'm 35. Everyone that was at this show, we're all in our fucking 30s, 40s. We're all old as fuck. We are all way too fucking old to be getting in a fucking mosh pit. And then we're like fucking circle pitting in the middle of this fucking show and just
at Kick Butt?
At Kick Butt. Oh yeah, I've seen people get crowd surfed there. Fucking I didn't see this one, but I was told like there was a show that got real rowdy there one night. Some kid like climbed up on a table and tried to jump off into the crowd, and like the table broke under him, and everyone managed to catch the kid and surf him to the bar. But it's fucking crazy. Like I've got like a whole chunk of material about like going to metal shows and going to punk shows and things like that I haven't busted out in a while, and I think I'm gonna bust that out this week because I haven't done that in a minute. So thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me about material I don't work on anymore that I need to fucking work on.
I want to go back sort of to your comedy sort of thing. So you've been doing fucking comedy forever. Not that I don't like talking about metal. I just don't know that much about it.
Yeah, it's fine. I've been doing comedy for a long fucking time.
And so you said 9 years?
9 years. 9 years. 9 years next Wednesday.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. I actually keep up with the date because what happened was I went through a breakup, went to this nerd convention in Atlanta, Dragon Con. I met legendary improviser and voice actor Scott Adsit at a panel, and I asked him, like, hey, I've been thinking about getting back into improv, getting back into entertainment. Another friend of mine had been like, hey, you got to get into comedy, dude. You're too funny. You need to do it. And so I asked Scott Adsit at this panel, I was like, hey, man, I'm thinking about getting back in the game. I haven't done it in years. I haven't done it in like almost 10 years. I haven't acted, nothing. What's your advice for getting the rust knocked off? And he gave me the best piece of advice I've ever given. He leaned into the microphone and said, get the fuck out of your own head. Right?
And just do it.
And just fucking do it. And then he gave me that advice on a Saturday. and I did my first open mic on Wednesday.
Wow.
On that following Wednesday. And I only took a break for about a year during the pandemic. But even then, during that time, I was working on content the whole time.
Right.
So I don't consider that having taken a break from comedy. I was just, instead of doing stand-up, I was doing a cooking show.
Okay.
So,
okay.
You know.
Well, I'm always interested in what comics did and how they went through the pandemic. That's always a very interesting thing for me. And you can kind of... all the comedians who are very successful, they all have podcasts. So we all know how they went through it or whatever.
Yeah.
But how the fuck did you get through that being like an open micer? Or
at the time I wasn't even.
showcaser?
Yeah, I was. My star was rising. Like the last showcase I did, last time I touched a microphone before the shutdown started happening was that. It was Friday, March 19th, or Friday, March 13th, because it was a Friday the 13th show, 2020. And I did that show. Lockdowns happened. I didn't leave my house to do anything but go to work. I was in Chattanooga. Yeah, I was living with my friend Ian that you'll get to meet this week. But at the time, I had like just moved in. I had just dumped my girlfriend at the time. Like, I dumped her like 2 weeks before the fucking pandemic started. Yeah. And I had my first bit back was my first little one-liner is like, yeah, I dumped my girlfriend 2 weeks before the lockdown happened. And boy, are my arms tired. It's bad. It's bad. It's not a good joke. It's just one of those. I
love those jokes. Yeah,
I love those.
You
little
know who
zingers.
my roommate is?
Yeah.
Dom.
Yeah.
Dom is just all those jokes.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So the first like 2 weeks, I didn't do anything. I was nervous. I was scared. Same as everyone. I didn't know what was going on. And like I was in Tennessee, so for the most part, like whatchamacallit, the like quarantine stuff, like laws were like they were there, but they weren't.
Iffy.
Yeah, like they weren't.
They're sketchy.
It wasn't like in Los Angeles where they were like rolling through neighborhoods checking to make sure people weren't having parties or whatever. Right. So I had a very good friend, guy named Charles Newby. And he and I had worked together the year before on a short film called The Voiceover, which won first runner-up at the Knoxville Comedy Film Festival. No big deal.
Oh, wow.
No big deal. So, and we had shot that entire movie on like a GoPro. And
okay.
Yeah, and I, at the time, had like a really nice phone with a really nice camera. So I was like, fuck it. I busted out just one of my small, filming for me tripod, and we filmed a short cooking show.
Sure.
Just an episode of doing like a kale salad, and then like a week later, we were like, dude, we could do this. We can make this.
Yeah.
And so we just did this completely unhinged, out there cooking show, like one episode.
Is it still around?
It's all on YouTube. Yeah, it's Gravy Boys TV.
Can I look it up?
Absolutely.
Look up real quick.
Yeah, you want to look for...
sorry, we were looking up Magic City Strip Club because Donald Trump was found there.
What?
After he got arrested.
I want to go. But
what is it?
Gravy Boys with a Z. TV. Yep, that's us at the top. Hang on. Yeah, because the one you want to look at...
Dude, this looks fun.
Yeah, dude.
This looks fun, and you guys got some pretty good views on this.
Oh, yeah, we did pretty all right.
Yeah.
Where is the burrito?
Whoa, 260 views, dude?
Yeah.
Damn.
Hang on. Go to the videos page.
Videos page, yep.
Yeah, videos link. Spicy pickle. Where the hell
this looks
is
fun.
it?
So are you guys?
There's a specific one I was looking for because I speak
this
Japanese.
Anymore?
No, we stopped because life happened. Oh, There we go. The chicken Alfredo with asparagus.
What the fuck?
So this one, the opening was a little bit different on how we did it because we were like just kind of fucking around.
Sure.
Because we wanted to get crazy, but hang on. It gets very unhinged very quickly. That's Charles right there.
Okay.
Today, we're going to be making a chicken Alfredo with asparagus. You'll find this romantic, easy-to-eat dinner on most upscale restaurant menus.
Wow, you guys edited the fuck out of this.
He did the editing. I just shot it, yeah, and we always scream the ingredients.
Very how-to basic.
Yeah, a lot of inspiration
from... But your own twist.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's still yours.
Yeah.
There's. I love watching shit like this.
Yeah. And now's when it gets crazy. We bought like 6 chickens for this. And we just,
what the
for
fuck?
tenderizing the bird.
What?
Tenderize the chicken by any means necessary. Yeah, we put a firework up his ass and blew it up. Yeah,
dude,
and it's just
good.
completely unhinged.
I like
stuff.
that.
Yeah, so like I
You guys could have gotten really good. What can I ask? What happened?
The pandemic lifted. Pandemic stuff lifted. His kid was starting school.
Oh, that explains
Yeah,
everything.
his kid was starting school. The pandemic was lifting. I was, we had planned on, like, we took a break after Christmas, and then we were going to come back at the new year in 2021 and start back up. And that just didn't come to fruition.
Yeah.
Because life got in the way, like it does. And then we did like one episode, I think, in February, and we were planning on going into a whole season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then in April, I started doing comedy again.
Right.
Sure. And in between, as we were getting closer to it, I was also working on a podcast that had never seen the light of day, a Dungeons and Dragons podcast.
Okay.
That fell apart. Like, this is the most painful thing that ever happened. We had 35 episodes in the can. All they needed to do was be edited. We finally got an editor to do it for us because neither myself or my partner wanted to do it, and no one else on the team wanted to do it. So we finally find an editor, and he gets to about episode 7, and he's like, I've got bad news. These 2 specific files are just corrupted for the rest of the season. So we lost everything. We lost 35 hours of content.
Whoa.
And one day. And then we tried to get that back together once we were able to like meet in person, and that just shit the bed too. So it's tough. Yeah, it's tough, but
that hurts to listen to. The L's that you take in comedy are are just L's like no other.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because you have nothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing this thing. I mean, I don't know how you're doing. I'm fucking broke. I'm broke.
Oh yeah, I'm broke as fuck all the time.
Like, I just don't.
I will say, like, now between the 2 shows that I'm running, though, I am making like $150-$200 a week.
Hey.
So dream big,
No, right.
Dream fucking big. But also, like, I'm almost 40 and I'm working part-time at a cell phone store. So, you take the good with the bad. So yeah, that's part of the job, is being broke all the fucking time.
Yes.
But, taking those L's, do you watch boxing at all?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit here.
A little bit. Yeah. And so when you're taking something like that, you got to do that slip. Right?
Yeah.
You just slip through and slip, jab. And that's kind of what you got to do, is just make sure that you're keeping your shoulders rolling and you're ready to hit that left jab or hit that right jab as soon as you're back up standing. Take another hit, throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, and just get back up. Like, that's always the thing, is that I feel like for me, what I've learned through this first year of doing comedy is just, you're going to fall on your feet a lot more than you thought you ever were. Mm-hmm. And you're going to fall hard. And you're like really, really fucking hard. Mm-hmm. I have this one bomb. And I have one bomb where it haunts me.
Oh yeah.
It and I'm sure you have a lot of those moms.
I have a few. I have like one specific one that like haunts me forever.
I have one where I remember the whole 3 minutes, like as clear as day, because it was so bad. I'll tell the story real quick because I think it's a funny story.
I want to hear it.
But I was at Lazy Days, where there was a fill-in. It wasn't Derek, so there was a fill-in, and it was me, my roommate Dom, and my girlfriend Liz, and we were all there, and it was literally us and the host. That was it.
Fuck.
And then Genevieve walked in.
Oh no.
And so it was us three, Genevieve, and her 2 friends.
Oh no.
And so we signed up. Mm-hmm. I was up after my buddy Dom, and instead of the host, I kind of forget his name, and I don't want to say his name for the story.
Yeah. They'll probably protect the innocent on this one.
Yes. He goes, next up, Genevieve, and instead of my name. And what he should have done is let Genevieve go on, kill, and I would go on and bomb after Genevieve.
Yeah.
After my buddy Dom goes up, he goes up and goes, I'm sorry, it's not Genevieve, it's Chris Pushkar.
Fuck.
And I was 3 or 4 months into comedy.
Fuck,
I could have gotten through it.
Yeah.
I was 3-4 months in.
Yeah, you
stuttered.
don't have that level of armor. Yeah.
I stuttered through the whole 3 minutes and got off, and it hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, it hurt like physical pain hurt. And then not only that, Genevieve went up right after I ate dick.
Shit, yeah.
And she killed.
Yeah.
2 of her friends, me, who just bombed, my roommate Dom, who just bombed, and then my girlfriend and the host.
God, that is the worst, is like having someone crush right after you bomb, and like crushing so hard that like you're bombing to your girlfriend, and then your girlfriend's losing it. The next comic.
Losing it.
Oh, God. That's rough, dude.
I remember, like, I still remember it, and that's the thing that makes you get better, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing where it's like, I never want that to happen again.
Yeah.
So I better get fucking better.
Yeah, I better make sure my shit's tighter. I better be able to read that room a little bit better.
Right.
So, like, that's another thing that me and Simply were talking about recently is, like, how important it is to be able to, like, adjust on the fly.
Yeah.
And read that room on the fly and things like that. Because, like, Simply's amazing at it. I think I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And that's just a muscle you have to stretch.
Well, I mean, as a host, I think you gain much more reps.
Absolutely.
Because you're working off the fly off of everything.
Yeah.
Everything's off the fly.
Yeah.
You can't have a set material as a host, it seems like.
I mean, you can to a certain point because, like, you know, I hosted shows back home. I've hosted all over the place. You know, I've done comedy in like 7 states, which ain't a lot, but it's, you know, it's a lot to me. Damn it. But
dude, me, like, this is fucking. I had Cameron Illig on the podcast, and he was talking to me the other day, and I was like, yo, what the fuck is it like going up and performing at the Comedy Mothership? He's like, it's not a real show. It's all like, it's all just, you know, improv or whatever. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. You're doing a show in a place that a lot of people consider to be the most important club in the country right now.
In the world.
In the world. You know, I have my views on it, and a lot of those are me being an old fuddy-duddy. You know, I'm an old school guy. My goal was always to make the Comedy Cellar in New York or to make the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. Now we have the mothership that makes the triumvirate, makes the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, as it were.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which is which.
Right.
But, you know, it is, you know, I do consider it, though, to be a part of that holy trinity of comedy clubs, because everything else is owned by, like, Helium or Laughs Across America, I think, is the one that owns, like, all the zanies and shit. No. Helium's the one that owns the zanies. I can't remember the one that owns all the stand-up lives. It's not called, like, Stand Up Live. It's called, like, Laugh Across America or something like that. But these, like, because I've done a few, I've done some stuff in those places, and these clubs are all kind of samey. They're all kind of, they all kind of look the same. They all kind of smell the same,
right?
Which, those clubs are a dime a dozen, but then you get these big clubs that are important and mean something to more than just your audience. They mean something to your comedians.
Yeah.
And that makes it, that's kind of what I'm trying to do with the boat is like, I want it to mean something to my audiences. And it has been. We've been getting good turnout, and we've been getting good turnout when it's nighttime and it's 98 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And we have people staying for the whole show.
I mean, dude, the fucking boat. I can't believe you fucking that's my first show. You're my first show ever, dude. And
well, I hope I can pay you. I hope we get enough donations.
Hey,
no.
I don't need money.
I know you don't. I know you don't. But that's something that's important to me, is to be able, when I can pay my comics, I try to pay my comics. This show, it's a free show, so we take up donations at the end. All your donations are very, very appreciated. I will ASMR you till you fucking come. If you throw some fucking money in my fucking jar, put your money in my asshole. But yeah, like, and there are a lot of shows that are like that. My Friday show is like that. It's a free show, donations, and we pass around a bucket, and people throw cash in there. And some nights it's like, oh god, this is one of the more funny, like, because this is a bomb story. There's this bar in Chattanooga called Barley. It's like it's like an upscale beer bar. It's actually closing at the end of September. So if you're listening from Chattanooga, go give them your money. If Heather or any of them are working, give them your money. But there was a mic there called Alcoholics Not Anonymous that had been going on for a while, and I got pulled to headline it. And this was in like the first year it was going. And my name got called to headline it. I get up, I think I headlined for like 15 that night. And I did okay, but it's a room full of comics in a scene where there were a lot of people that never really liked me or respected me or whatever, which is whatever. Your job shouldn't be to impress comics. Your job should be to impress an audience. And there wasn't much audience that night. And I was kind of falling flat on my face the whole time, eating shit. They pass around the bucket. I got $0, but I did get an empty bag of jerky. An empty beef jerky bag. And it's like,
wow.
Yeah, and it's like a local brand of jerky that's like legendary. And they just threw this empty bag of jerky in my bag. I was like, you know what, this is the most defining moment for me. Like, that's one of those moments like, man, should I quit? And luckily I didn't. And I ended up headlining it like one more time. And then actually that's the bar I did my going away show at. Before I moved, I booked myself to headline. Cause if you're moving from a small town to a big town, you fucking book yourself to headline. Booked myself to headline, got my friends on. All my friends were doing like 15s and 20s. I was doing 45. I get up there. I crush it. I absolutely destroyed it. And ended up between Venmo and cash, and just Venmo and cash, not counting all the fucking drinks that were bought for me, because a lot of drinks were bought for me. I did $530 on that show.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow. But
go ahead.
Oh, so I wanted to. Don't worry about it. I wanted to finish though. boat.
Yeah.
The boat is really special to me because last year was where me and my girlfriend first celebrated our anniversary, our 1 year anniversary.
That's adorable.
And I saw the stage and I go, wouldn't it be fucking cool if there was an open mic here where I could perform at? And a year later, you fucking
I've got you booked. I'll tell you, we're not on the stage, dog. We're not on the stage, though. We're on the front deck.
Oh, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, yeah, I know. But,
I don't give a fuck.
But, yeah, like, and that's the thing is, like, that's kind of why that show is so important to me, is because it's an island of misfit toys things. It's a lot of people that are younger comics that maybe aren't getting opportunities, old head comics that aren't getting looked at the way they should be getting looked at, comics like me that, you know, have been tossed to the wayside here, there, and everywhere for years. And
Why do you think that is?
For me, it's because I'm abrasive. I'm a dick. I make no bones about it. I'm a dick. I'm a dick to bookers. I'm a dick to bookers. I'm very much a dick to bookers. I have no respect for people in authority whatsoever. I'm an asshole in that way because, like, I grew up real bitter. Like, I came up real bitter as a comedian. The Bryant you guys know now is not the Bryant that I was 4 years ago, 5 years ago doing comedy.
Okay.
Not even 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And part of that is because my home scene, like the open mic scene, there's pretty toxic. So like coming up, you know, I would get overlooked for stuff, and it was the same. You know, in Austin, there's like 1,000 people doing comedy in the city.
Yeah.
In Chattanooga, at any given time, tops 17.
Wow.
20.
So what do you think is better for a comedy? Do you think it's better because I know you get more stage time in the smaller towns, but do you think it's better where you have Kent Hunter on your ass, lighting the fucking flint? You think that?
100%. It's better than that. And let me tell you, it is anyone who tells you they're getting more stage time staying in their hometown, they're full of shit. They're full of shit or they're booking themselves. Because like the only people, there are maybe 3 people that are getting even close to the stage time I'm getting here.
Yeah,
in Chattanooga. And that's because they're taking their turns hosting at the local comedy club. Plus they're doing now there are 3 mics in town.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like,
that's not that many.
No, and they keep like shutting down, getting moved, shit like that. There's only really been 2 consistent mics in Chattanooga.
Wow. The
entire time I was coming up was the mic at the comedy club, the Comedy Catch, and the mic at JJ's Bohemia. Mike at JJ's Bohemia has been going on for like 11, 12 years.
Okay.
And then you get the mic at the Comedy Catch has also been going for 15, 20 years, something like that. So, the idea is like, oh, I'm in a small town. I'm going to get so much more time because everywhere I go, I'm going to get 5 minutes on stage. Here's the thing and this is the advice I give anyone that's like, I want to try comedy, is write 5 minutes. It's going to take you 3 minutes to tell it.
Yeah.
Write 5. It's going to take you 3 to finish it.
Yep.
And so like that extra 2 minutes for, someone who's just starting out doing comedy, it is not doing you any favors at all. Because instead of learning how to make shit punchy, how to like write that punchline, it's going to take you that much longer writing at a 5-minute clip because you don't understand yet how word economy works.
I feel like you would get more laughs too in a small town because there isn't that fucking.
You do get better crowds.
Kent Hunter, where he'll go out and smash, right? And if you don't go out there, I mean, he's got that bit. I don't want to fucking tell it. That fucking drunk bit.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. But like again, like he goes out and smashes with that. And we're just saying. I mean, there's so many. Tim Warner. You have
Parker, Kane Brown, fucking Hooch, fucking you.
You think so?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're on my list
so
of people
much.
to watch. I wouldn't have done the podcast if I did not think that you were worth me doing your podcast. Like,
dude, that means fucking a lot. No, that means a lot. That means fucking so much. And
good. Tell your friends. Tell your friends to book me.
No, I think that, dude, it's harder. Right now, for me, one of the more difficult things is I think I am way better at podcasting than I am at stand-up.
Yeah.
Just because there's no level of entry. The only level of entry is that my parents had some money.
Yeah.
And they were able to help out with a lot of this equipment is mine. I always say that this equipment is like 50-50 between me and my parents. But dude, 50 of this is my parents.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot, dude, to my parents. And like, if you don't have that, right? And my parents were very good where like, my parents grew up poor.
Yeah.
So they need me to fucking show them that I want to do this shit.
Yeah.
I started, if you go back to episode 1, I had a camera and I had 3 mics.
Yeah.
That was it. There was no fucking Focusrite, no like monitor,
Yeah.
no fucking nice podcast studio. It was nothing.
Yeah.
I had like this shitty table. I was 17 years old, and it was me, Dom, and my other buddy Charlie, who said was gonna move down with us.
And didn't.
He didn't.
Get your shit together, Charlie.
Yeah.
We're back on the ASMR. Charlie. Charlie, I want you to come down here. I'm gonna get a nice big jar of Nestle syrup. I'm gonna pour it right down that poop shit, and I'm gonna lick it up until you just squirm. I'm gonna lick that syrup right out of your brown eye, Charlie, as soon as you get down here.
You are. I don't know if you've ever been called this. To me, you are the epitome of a comics comic.
Oh, dude.
You know what I mean, dude? Like
Yeah.
the Bob Odenkirk, like, yeah, maybe some regular people don't get you fully, but
Yeah.
dude, as a fucking comedian looking at another comedian, dude, I one time watched you bomb. And you knew that you were going to bomb. And it was Monday night at Access.
Yep.
And you told a 5-minute bit, and you go, this bit's going to bomb. I'm going to tell it anyways.
Oh, was that when I did fucking the Aristocrats? Yeah. You want to hear something funny? The fucking I've done the Aristocrats all of 3 times. First time I did it, I absolutely destroyed. Second time, I bailed halfway through. Third time, I bombed at Access. But yeah, I know exactly what. The only person I popped was Alden, and that's because Alden knew what that joke was. So, like, Alden knew.
You had me and Dom laughing.
Oh yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Like
the comics, I was busting up,
right?
Because I knew going into it, like the Aristocrats, unless you are already a hometown hero, or you've set everyone up for it,
Yes.
or you've, or you know, you're someone who people have come to expect you to tell the Aristocrats. Like, if I ever release a special, you know, which I don't know if I ever will, but if I ever release a special, the end of that special, and this is going to be
6
sort of
years.
Yeah.
6 years max.
Yeah.
If you don't have a special in 6 years, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah. So I was actually talking about this with Simply last night. Like, my goal is probably to have like a half hour out next year after.
Good.
But I'm going to end my special with the Aristocrats. And that's sort of like an homage. It's not just, you know, because I personally love that joke. It's the only street joke that I think it's okay to tell on stage. But it's also like an homage to the filth mongers and the filth merchants that came before me. Like, if you've never heard the album Gilbert Gottfried's Dirty Jokes.
I have not heard that album, but I know like
it is. Yeah.
Gottfried.
Gottfried was the best. And he did a whole album, and he's Gilbert Gottfried, so he's talking like this and telling filthy street jokes. And he ends it with a 10-minute version of the Aristocrats.
Really?
Yeah. And
okay.
Like, so hearing his version of the Aristocrats was the first time I had ever heard the Aristocrats. It's a joke. And then I watched the documentary on it. I, you know, got to hear, oh God, what's his name? Fucking Norm's best friend that passed away. Shit.
I know who you're talking about.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget.
Yeah, Bob Saget had a version. I want to say
Full
Norm
House
had a
guy.
version. Yeah, the
Yep.
Full House guy. But I also want to say, like, Norm had his version of it. You know, like back in the 80s, like 80s and 90s, every comic basically had their version of the Aristocrats. And it was kind of like, you know, in my opinion, it's the only street joke every comic is allowed to tell because everyone's version is a little bit different.
Okay, so this isn't fully your joke.
No, it's
I
not.
didn't
The
know
concept. The concept is.
That was
So-
the first time I've ever heard that
Yeah.
joke was your version.
Yeah. So the setup and the punchline is always the same. The setup is a family walks into a talent agency, and the punchline is always the Aristocrats, or the punchline is always, "Wow, that's quite an act you have. What do you call it? The Aristocrats."
Okay.
And then everything in the middle is yours. And like I borrow from Gilbert with that, but I also like have my own bits that I do in mine. Like the dog being in it is uniquely mine.
Yep.
But yeah, like it's it's one of those jokes that like you are either going to destroy with it, or you are going to fall flat on your face. And you have to have an audience really, really, really warmed up to be able to pull that off. So that's why, like, I'm going to finish my special with it. It's probably going to be a 10-minute version.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be long. I've been writing that out off and on for like a year.
Well, dude, I'm fucking excited for your special.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah.
And I will blow that shit up.
Please do.
In any way I can.
Please do. Because, like, I have a lot of friends, and I was talking about this with Simply last night, is, like, I know a lot of people that, like, jump the gun on doing specials. Because, like, don't do it. Don't do it. Young comics, don't do it. Because, like, and this is, you know, this, I don't want to sound like gatekeepy or anything like that. I want everyone to work at it, but it takes you about 5 years to really learn how to write a joke. It takes you 5 years of doing it to really learn how to write it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Because I still don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Dude, here's the secret. I've been doing it for 9 years. I barely know what the fuck I'm doing. I can write a joke like no one's business now, but I'm terrible at the business side of things. You know, I'm terrible at booking myself. I'm terrible at promoting myself. I suck at social media. A friend of mine's girlfriend is doing his social media, and I'm thinking about paying her to do mine. But anyway, I do want to do that eventually. I think it is time. You know, next year in September will be my 10th anniversary, so probably I'll aim for next year.
Well, where will you do it? Do you think? And then
I think I'm going to do it in Chattanooga. I think I'm gonna film it at JJ's Bohemia in Chattanooga because I know I can pack that out with people that are gonna laugh, and I know I can pack that out with.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, I want to do it at home. Like, I've got song ideas in my head for what I want to do with it. You know, I have ideas for like intros because I do want to do like a big intro. Part of me wants to do like this because like I'm a flamboyant person. I'm a huge personality. And so like I'm also a big wrestling fan. So I've always, you know, the pomp and circumstance surrounding that, you know, come out and do like a full Undertaker WrestleMania, WrestleMania 28, 29, entrance, or do, like a full-on John Cena entrance with a whole bunch of people dressed like me lining the aisle, like shaking their hand in front of their face. You know, but yeah, like I think about what my special is going to look like every day. Wow. And after I drop one, it's probably going to be 4 or 5, 6 years before I do another one. And Ari Shaffir talks about this because he did Jew, and he said it took him about 5 years to write Jew. And have you've seen Jew, right?
I haven't seen the full thing. I know.
Make time for it. It's excellent. It's perfect.
No, I've seen 20 minutes of it, and it's perfect. And I've heard clips, and I've heard the pilot. Yeah. Like, I know about Jew. Dude, the way he is, like, it's
his
like
flow. His flow is incredible.
In, like, also, like, it just sounds like a song. Yeah. When he talks about in Jew, just because you can tell half a decade went into writing that.
Yeah, and it's incredible.
Right.
Incredible.
That's
but
also
he said it's probably going to be another 5 years before he writes another one.
That can be a downfall, though. And, like, because you can be Bobby Lee. Right?
Yeah.
And, like, not necessarily that Bobby Lee
with all due respect, Bobby Lee's a cuck. So, I mean, I've been a fan of Bobby Lee for a long time, but for fuck's sake, he's still with that crazy bitch. Like, come on.
I said that to Dom.
Yeah.
And then Dom was like, well, what are you going to do? I was like, no, that's fucking weird that Tiger Belly's still happening.
Yeah.
That is strange. To be in a relationship where it seemed like 10 years or something like that. And then not only that, it was very messy, it seemed like at points. And of course, we're outsiders looking in. Yeah. So, like, who the fuck are we to judge? But I could not imagine having that relationship and then still not taking a break. I understand if you take like a year break and then you come back and you do Tiger Belly. That actually makes complete sense to me.
Yeah.
To go through the breakup and then like be like, all right, so are you coming to the podcast? Though? Like, to break up Friday night and then record
on
Sunday.
Saturday. Yeah, Sunday, whatever. Also, again, it's because like I genuinely believe that she is toxic. She is abusive, like emotionally manipulative and abusive. I believe. You know, this is armchair psychology. She's, you know, borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder, or narcissistic personality disorder, some combination there.
Yeah, or call her comedian.
Yeah, or a comedian. Well, I'm sorry, doctor. I'm sorry, Mr. Lee. She's been diagnosed with being a comedian.
No, please.
How long is it going to be? She's writing a special.
Oh God.
Oh God.
No, but that is fucking true. And I mean, it's just Tiger Belly. It's a good podcast. Now, better than this podcast.
Yeah.
But that podcast is weird, man.
It's so weird,
It's a
dude.
weird
It's
podcast.
so fucking weird.
And because it's Bobby Lee and then Kalila,
Yeah.
and neither of them are emotionally stable.
No.
And dude, I don't know. Dom was talking to me about this. I haven't even seen the podcast. Bobby Lee had Carlos Mencia on a year ago.
Yeah.
I had no fucking idea that happened. And he told me about what happened where like Bobby Lee was like, hey, what happened again with like the whole like joke stealing thing?
And he was like, yeah, I steal jokes. I'm Carlos Mencia. What are you going to do about it? Yeah. Dude, fucking, this is a fun little Carlos Mencia side note. So full disclosure, I started doing comedy in earnest when I was 27. 10 years before that, I had tried at 18.
Okay.
I had tried it, and I got thrown out. I was bad. I was bad. I don't count those 2 years that I attempted. But there was this like traveling comic that was coming through the local comedy club, and I was hitting the mic there, and we were talking about Carlos Mencia because this is when all of the rumors started coming up that he was a joke thief and this and that and the other. And she goes off on this tirade, and I have no idea if she actually believed this was true or if it was actually true, because she was going on a rant about him being a joke thief and just a piece of shit, and don't ever work with him if you ever get the opportunity. Tell him no. And she's like, and he's not even fucking Mexican. He's a Hungarian Jew. And I have no clue if there's any validity to that at all, but I hope it's true.
What a way to end a rant.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
a
what I mean?
Hungarian Jew.
Me and Dom, we just rewatched that episode of South Park. Do you like fish sticks? They make fun of Carlos Mencia.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's so funny, man.
Dude.
Oh, we were talking about, me and Dom were talking about, comedy is the only art form where you'll have moments, like actual actions of moments, like those are the big moments where it's like, okay, what's a big like movie moment? It's when The Shining was released, or The Dark Knight was released, or something along those lines. Or what's a big moment in music history? It's like when Michael Jackson first emerged,
Yeah, when Thriller dropped.
Yes. So it's all connected to like a specific release, but sometimes the biggest moments in comedy is out of the blue.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan yelling at Carlos Mencia.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle walking away from the Dave Chappelle show.
Yeah.
Bill Burr going on at Philadelphia and just screaming.
That is so good.
And like owning them.
Yeah.
Owning the
them
crowd.
from a throne of skulls.
Like like those are the moments where the Lenny Bruce getting arrested in the 1960s. Like that was sort of the first big comedy moment.
Or George Carlin getting arrested.
Yes.
And so there's a law named after Carlin. It's Carlin's law, and it's the words you can't say on television because he had the words you can't say on TV. Because it was shit, piss, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits.
Yes.
But yeah, because of that, so I definitely see where you're coming from with like comedy, our moments, because like we're carnies, we're carnies all the way down.
Yep.
So our moments aren't defined by like this is this amazing thing that released. We're not going to be defined by, us comics. Like I'm a student of the game, so for me, I'm defining it by like this is the year that Carlin on Campus came out. This is the year that Robin Williams Live at the Met came out.
Right.
This is the year that Don Rickles was on the White House Correspondents' Dinner. This is the year that Beyond the Pale came out, or oh God damn it, it's on the tip of my tongue. This is the year that the Comedians of Comedy albums released. This is when Patton Oswalt's Talking for Clapping happened. So for me, it's a lot of that, but for the general public, for a lot of people, what it's defined as is like, this is when it changed pop culture.
Yeah.
Because of something gnarly that happened. Mm-hmm. This is when something negative about comedy got into the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
And there are those huge moments like that, like Carlos Mencia getting called out. Trying to think, there haven't been a lot of recent ones unless you want to count like the Bobby Lee Kalila thing.
Right.
I think the next big one's going to be Tom Segura and Christina Pajitsky get divorced.
Really?
I do. I genuinely
You think they're going to get divorced?
They're either going to get divorced or they're going to, like, I don't know. Because sometimes on the podcast, it seems a little strained. And also, like, Tom is pretty much on the road every day.
Wow.
Like, you got to remember, he just did the I'm Coming Everywhere tour.
Yeah.
He's dropping this album, and then he's going right back out on the road.
That is crazy.
So, it's either going to be that or when Bert Kreischer dies.
Yeah.
Because Bert has said he's going to stop drinking until he loses a bunch of weight, which good for him. And I mean, like, he's low key. Like, I kind of am this way too. I'm not nearly as athletic as Bert is, but like, Bert's a big guy. He drinks a lot. He parties hard, but like, he's a pretty athletic dude.
He can handle it.
He can handle it.
Yeah. Whatever's in him can fucking
same with me.
take that.
Yeah. Same with me. He gets a little more crying emotional than I do, but
yeah.
I think it's because he's a nicer person than
yeah.
I am.
Well, I mean, and
I think he's more of a sweetheart than I will ever be. I try to be a sweetheart. Don't get me wrong.
you're a nice guy, man.
I try to be.
You're nice. You've been nice to me and Dom. I mean, me and Dom have always looked. We've always said this. You, Kenny Buttons, Simply Courtney have created this atmosphere. Tiniest and specifically, but also other mics where
everywhere we go.
It's hey, if you want to be in this, you can, but you need to work hard.
Yeah,
it's that simple. And I felt that. I mean, I really do feel that still, and it's a great thing what you guys have fucking made. Yeah. A lot of going back to the moments though, with like there are some now, but a lot of them are on podcasts now.
Yeah.
So like a lot of them are podcast related, like Elon Musk smoking weed. That was
ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a crazy moment in comedy, but it wasn't necessarily like a comic, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, the veil between a comedian and your everyday Joe is thinning every day. Because you have so many people, and this is one of those things about Austin that it's a double-headed axe. It's a double-edged sword. Is on the one hand, we have one of the Holy Trinity comedy clubs now. We have just on 6th Street. How many clubs are there now? There's
so many.
There's Velveeta Room. There's Vulcan.
Comedy Mothership.
You have Sunset.
Yep.
And then further up 6th, Roscoe's.
I mean, you have
5 clubs on 6th.
Closed. And then
that's not including Cap City, East Austin Comedy Club, Fallout Theater, fucking the Moon Tower.
Yep.
And then that's 9 clubs.
Off the top of your head.
Off the top of my head, 9 clubs. And that's not including, I run 2 bar shows. There's bar shows at Tiniest Bar in Texas, bar shows at Creek in the Cave, 10.
Yep.
There are bar shows at fucking, almost every bar in town, And so because of this glut, you get a lot of people, and you get people like you and me that are students of the game, that love this, that have ate, slept, and breathed this for years, that came to Austin because, like, this is Mecca. We're here. Then you also have a lot of people like, and not naming names, but you have a lot of people that moved down here that had never done comedy before and had never studied comedy. They just watch Kill Tony, and they watch the Joe Rogan Experience, and maybe they watched Shane Gillis's special, or they watched Jew, or they watched what's his name? He's on Flagrant 2. God damn it.
Andrew Schultz.
They watched Schultz's special, or Fucking, they're a big fan of Theo Vaughn.
Dylan.
Or
Tim
Dillon. Tim Dillon. People who like Tim Dillon are okay in my book. But
yeah, no, Tim Dillon does have that sinister viewpoint of like, hey, like you're probably gonna fail.
Yeah.
And like low-key, that's like kind of good to have.
Yeah, it's good to have. You have to go in with the understanding that not everyone's gonna make it.
Yeah.
And not all of your friends are gonna make it.
No.
But you know, that's why like I do my part to be like, hey, you got to work really hard to get noticed out here. And Austin has drawn a lot of people that are not gonna fucking make it. No. Like, I have personal good friends. I have very good friends that I hang out with fairly regularly that I know aren't gonna make it. And it's whichever tough. One of you are listening to this, it's not you. But yeah, like I have personal friends that I know aren't gonna make it.
Well, I mean, it all comes down to work and sacrifice.
Exactly.
What are you willing to work and what are you willing to sacrifice? Now, there's a lot of people who want to move down to Austin, Texas, and they think that they're going to go and kill Tony in 6 months and that they're going to do great.
Get a career out of that. Yep. And they're not.
And the reality is that I didn't do an open mic before I moved down here. I'll be the first one to admit that. I had a podcast for a year and a half. Yeah. Or, you know what I mean? And that... when you do something, anything artistically, and you do something for a year, and then you go, oh, I'm not going to make it for a really, really, really long time. Like,
because you're what, 21?
I'm
20?
19.
19. Yeah, you're fucking young, dude. Fucking, I wish I had the head on my shoulders when I was 19 that you do. Like, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious.
I know. I just think I'm an idiot.
Well, I hate to break it to you, you are, but like you can weaponize that idiocy into being that, and you chose the right. So it's all about time and place, and like you've chosen the right time, you've chosen the right place, and you're choosing your people.
I feel like I'm in the eye of the storm.
Yeah,
like here in Austin, Texas, there was this. When I go outside, like it's hard to describe. When I go outside as a comedian, I feel it in the air.
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, I've never felt anything like this before.
I feel exactly what you're talking about because, like, even if I'm not going out to do comedy, I just walk outside and, I can feel when I'm getting ready because, I'm not in my usual gear here. I'm in my podcasting comfy gear.
Sure.
Because I'm going to be sitting for a while. So if I'm going to sweat, I'm going to sweat fucking comfortably. But like when
do you want the fan on?
No, I'm fine. Okay. Dude. But like so like when I'm putting on my battle armor, when I'm putting on my dumb fucking Hawaiian shirt, and I'm putting on my jeans, and
I love that shirt so
much. Dude, I need some more. Cash at me at Buttwind, so I can buy more of those shirts. But yeah, no, whenever I'm putting those on, it feels like I'm donning armor.
Yeah.
And then I walk into any room and I'm like, fuck, dude, this town is different.
It is.
This town is fucking different. And I've done comedy all over the Southeast. I've done small towns, big towns. I did a week-long festival in New York like 3-4 years ago. And like doing comedy all that time ago was like, or doing comedy in New York even doesn't compare to what it is here. Like doing comedy in New York, I would walk into a room. I would walk in. And I was the festival was mostly at the Broadway Comedy Theater in Manhattan, and I would walk in there. And granted, I had been doing comedy 4 years at this point, but I walk in there. I'm like, holy fuck, man! Like this is electric. This is awesome. I'm in a comedy club. Now I walk in there, I was like, holy fuck, this is awesome. This is electric. I'm a comedian.
Yeah. Well, I try to explain to people is that Austin, Texas is the best place for newcomers when it comes to stand-up comedy.
100%.
Sure, you have LA and sure you have New York City. They're expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
So you're broke to another level.
Yeah.
You can get a decent job here fairly easily that can get you a decent apartment. Everyone's sort of willing to be roommates here. There's an environment of being a comics roommate. and you just sort of it's not bad here.
I'm one of the lucky ones. I actually do not live with any other comics. I have 4 roommates. No, I'm sorry. I have 3 roommates now. 4 counting one of my roommates' girlfriend has been practically living there.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm the only comedian there. And they make jokes about how I'm going to convert him to a comedian. I'm like, no, I would not wish that on my worst enemy.
No, you don't want to be a comedian.
No, you don't want this. You don't want this smoke, dude. But yeah, like, go ahead.
Can we pause right here?
Yes.
I have to pee so bad.
I would like to take a cigarette break. Let's do
take a little break and then we'll fucking come back. Dude, I'm gonna start this bitch. Dude, I'm having so much fun
This is fun.
now.
Hang on. Let me get the read in. And we're back once again. Welcome to the Kpush podcast with Chris Pushkar and your guest today, Bryant Smith. Hi guys, how are we doing today?
Oh, wow, you got a nice, sexy voice.
Oh yeah,
dude.
I wanted to be so like my original career path is I wanted to be an actor by way of being a voice actor. I wanted to be a voice actor growing up. Because like I still to this day am very much cartoons guy. I love cartoons. I love animation.
Okay.
So that's
so is Mark Hamill a god to you?
Mark Hamill is one of my gods. My Joker is Mark Hamill's Joker. It's just yes, Batman. Don't you believe just this once that maybe if we give you the chance to try something a little dangerous, you might have a little fun. Yeah, I can fucking like I'm fucking voice actor.
Dude, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So can I give you stuff and you can say it in that voice?
I can try, yeah.
Can you say, I want you to fuck me, Batman?
Listen, Batman. Can I call you Bats? Listen, Bats. All I've ever wanted is for you to just bend me over a trash can and have your way with me.
That was so good. Oh my god. Dude, Nick V has a really good gay Joker, but it's different.
God.
Dude, I want you two to go on stage and both be gay Joker.
I would love to do that.
He'll be because his more's a little bit more like 50s mixed with Heath Ledger's, but yours is straight Mark Hamill.
Mine is slick Mark Hamill, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should both go up and be gay Joker.
Gay Joker? Oh, and try to out gay Joker.
Yes.
I've got to be careful not to step on a bit. I've got to wait until it gets cold again because I'll be wearing my leather jacket.
And if you don't do that on stage, I'm bringing the two of you in here in this room.
Either way.
Yeah, it's happening. I'm making that happen.
It's got to happen.
Was too perfect.
It's got to happen.
Wow. That was incredible.
Yeah, but I'm wanting to do a bit. I've like played with it before a little bit last year because it's a like self-deprecation joke I wrote about myself wearing that jacket because someone made a comment. It was like, yeah, you got a nice look here. You're like a punk rock Margaritaville or something like that. And I was like, yeah, what I'm going for is more of like an Andrew Dice Gay. And so I want to do like a whole Andrew Dice Clay thing, but just like not verbatim his material,
sure,
but like just his material, but gay it up, like the classic.
Can you do his voice?
Can I do his voice?
Whoa.
So like I want to do his storybook bit, but instead of just doing the storybook, being like, old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to get a dog a bone. No, that's the way he did it because I was like old Uncle Hubbard went to it and I fuck him in the ass basically. Or here we go. This is like the big opener for it though is Hickory Dickory Dock. I'm trying to suck some cock. Oh, the Dice Man. Like, so yeah, I've got a million of them up in here. Like you should play D&D with me sometimes. It gets wild. It gets crazy. Okay,
so you wanted to be a voice. So I wanted to be a director of movies, and I've always wanted. I still want to be director of movies. I've always thought that, but like the way directors get to being a director doesn't make sense to me, except Quentin Tarantino's story, where it kind of just happened.
Yeah,
and
he kind of just. Well, he was just making movies,
right? That makes sense to me.
So, if you want to make like big blockbusters, if you want to be the guy that's making fucking,
I want to be Nolan.
Yeah, if you're wanting to be Nolan or Spielberg or anything like that, you have to move. You have to have parents with some money. and you have to move to Los Angeles early and pay your dues.
Yes.
Or, there are these indie directors that go to film school, and a lot of people that go to film school, come out with like this certain kind of academic film school style of making movies. Whereas for me, like the folks that I like the most are the ones that like they started out making movies in their fucking yard.
Yeah.
And the next thing, and then, they got something in at a film festival. They got a short in.
That makes more sense to me.
That makes more sense to me, too. That's kind of why I never moved to Los Angeles and started paying my dues that way.
Now there's a new director emerging, and they've just started.
Yeah.
But Bo Burnham, Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele, for sure.
Where they're these...
This new crop. I didn't know Bo Burnham was directing stuff.
He directed a movie called 8th Grade.
Oh.
It was a, like, coming-of-age story that was funny.
Was it good?
It was fun. Oh, great.
Okay.
It was... Like,
that
if
tracks.
I didn't tell you that it was in a Bo Burnham movie, you would have guessed it was a Bo Burnham movie.
Gotcha.
It
It's
was
sort of in his voice. Did he write it too?
He wrote it.
Okay.
He wrote it. And
I do like writer directors.
Yes.
Because like if I'm ever doing that, I will be a writer director.
Right.
Dude, you should come over and hang out and fucking because I'm trying to build out a couple of scripts I've been working on for fucking years. You should come hang out one night, and we'll just fucking bust out the whiteboard and fucking put some stuff together.
Oh my god, I would love to do that.
Yeah,
I would love that so much.
The big one. I have been off and on working on this movie longer than I've been doing comedy. The actual inspiration for this movie was the girl that I broke up with that eventually led to me doing comedy.
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
No, I have a story like that too.
I want to make this movie. And I want to do like old school, like 70s grindhouse movie.
Yeah.
One of the big inspirations for it is like Black Dynamite.
Okay.
Black Dynamite, Death Proof.
Nice.
But also like I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka, which is like a send up of those movies, but like Shaft, that sort of thing.
So sort of like a fun...
Dolomite. Yeah. So, the movie's called Uzi Bitch.
Uzi Bitch.
Uzi Bitch.
I like it already.
Uzi Bitch is a... Hang on, let me get my movie voice on. Uzi Bitch was raised in a tower by the evil Mr. White to be an assassin for the CIA. And then one day, she had to kill one man. And then it starts off with the song Son of a Preacher Man.
Yeah.
And he was the son of a preacher man. And she was the greatest assassin to ever live. And now she must protect him from the evil Mr. White and the machinations of his 5 deadly venoms. And then it's, which 5 Deadly Venoms is a nod to a great classic kung fu movie that's free on YouTube. You should watch it, called Deadly Venoms or 5 Deadly Venoms. But basically, it's like an old send up of that, like, it's like her having
Seems
to go
like Kill
through
Bill.
Very Kill Bill. Very,
Yes.
very Kill Bill, which Kill Bill is inspired by all of those movies.
Right.
So it's funny how like circular this is because like Kill Bill is what got me into Grindhouse.
Okay.
And because I was like, oh my God, I love the style of this. I forgot that I had seen a bunch of like free movies that were like this when I was growing up. That were just like on fucking cable or whatever, like late night cable, old like on TNT in the 90s, fucking Joe Bob Briggs fucking doing creature feature movies and shit, and doing like classic horror movies and talking about them and things. But I was like, fuck, I like that style of movie. And that immediately was like grindhouse, horror, all that. And then back up to like, oh, that's right. That's why I like Quentin Tarantino so much.
Right.
Because like, have you seen all of his movies or most of them?
All of them.
All of them. So,
Wait.
because I'm a Tarantino guy too.
Not all Death Proof.
Not all. You haven't seen all of Death Proof? It's
No.
okay. Death Proof's.
I know.
Death Proof's okay.
Yep.
Fucking Rob Rodriguez did better on that movie by a lot. Rob Rodriguez also did fucking Spy Kids, so he's a genius. But so I love Tarantino, and he's a big influence on me artistically in general.
See, I hearing your script, there's one thing that would just like, and like you don't have to listen to me.
Oh no! I'm all ears.
There's one thing that would concern me is like sometimes over cheesing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Does that
That's
make
kind
sense
of
to me?
that's kind of what we want to do with it. Is like, have you seen Black Dynamite?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Not all of it.
So
I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
I know the plot.
it does a really good job of over cheesing in a smart way, and that's kind of the angle I'm going for.
Right.
Is I want it over cheesed. I want it over cheesed in a way that's taking the piss out of stuff that's cheesy.
Yes. You know what I think that would be a cool way to balance out the cheese is if you had really sick fight scenes.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like,
So-
like well choreographed,
Oh, yeah.
like Matrix level fight scenes.
Oh, yeah.
And then like right at the end of the fight scene, maybe you have like remember when during
Oh, yeah, I'm
Django,
hiring-
where
yeah.
he shoots that guy and
Yeah.
he goes flying. That's
Yeah.
one of the funniest jokes
It's
I've ever
so
seen.
good.
Like I laugh
It's so
every
good.
time I see it.
But
like that would be like
so
a
that would
really
be
cool-
that is kind of one of the goals is to have those like really well done fight. Like I'm not hiring actors, I'm hiring stuntmen.
Right.
I'm hiring stuntmen and women. Because like Uzi Bitch's like number one rival is Katana Cunt. And it's an Asian girl with a fucking katana, and they're going to have a fight in a roller rink, like very 70s. Because like roller rinks were like super popular, which they're coming back. It's pretty cool. But they're gonna have a fight in the roller rink, and Uzi Bitch is literally like using twin Uzis like skis to push herself off to get in this fight, and the whole fight's to like the song "Night Fever" by the Bee Gees,
Right.
Like go real over the top with it, but like have the choreography really good, and just like make sure every shot is like the concept and everything is so cheesy. On something like that, you have to honor it by making the script
that's
really
exactly.
tight. You have to make
Yes.
the shots really good. You know, like all of these wonderful characters like have depth and things like that. And so that's kind of the goal there with that film idea. Don't steal it.
No, that's a great. Dude, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, and I want to be
Yeah.
like a part of it. Like,
Dude,
I
yeah,
would
come
love
on.
to be part of it.
We're also planning on doing like a sketch writers room day one day.
course.
So come
All-
by.
Anything like that,
Yeah,
I'm always
absolutely.
in for.
I figured you would be.
Yep, I'm down for anything,
You
dude. Like,
fucking nerd. Being too fucking serious about our love of movies. We gotta fucking call each other gay now, or no one's gonna listen to the fucking podcast.
that's always a problem with this podcast. Is like it's always fun. Like let's talk about dicks and balls and stuff, and then it's like let's get really serious about
Yeah.
the Dark Knight.
Fucking gay joker. Anyway, so I think Nolan's use of lighting in The Dark Knight is one of the most intelligent uses of darkness to really build tension. That's actually a dumb sketch idea I had the other day. Is I want to do like the fucking dock scene where the Batman's picking everyone off one by one. I want to do that as a sketch, but it's in Moscow. It's in like Russia, and it's like, you know, the lead in is quickly get everything moved. But boss, shouldn't we be afraid of him? I am not. We have no reason to be afraid of anything. The Black Man is not real. And then down from the sky comes the Black Man, and he's just like Batman, but he's in like an Adidas cape.
He's just like a fucking corned up Batman.
Dude, yeah, don't fucking full fucking squat and Slav, baby. Like he's doing like the Russian kicks to like kick people and shit. Like, oh, suka, it's the Black Man. Get that Gobnik.
The Black Man's also drunk. As
Oh
he does
yeah,
it.
oh yeah. He's got like a bottle of vodka. He's like, hang on, let me see if I can do a Russian Batman. Hang on, Batman. Where are the there we go, Black Man. Yes, I take this bottle of vodka from you. I hope you don't mind. And he just like throws a cap at someone and knocks him out. I am the Black Man. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Russian hairbus. Oh god, but yeah, that's like a stupid idea I've had for like the last week, and I can't get it out of my head. I
Right.
just have this image in my head of Batman in a fucking Ushanka hat.
That's a funny fucking skit, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You can add Russian to almost any idea.
Dude,
and
it's
a
always
little bit-
funny.
Yeah, it's always a little bit funny.
Oh man, because they're such just like Russians are super funny because they are the only humans on the planet more beaten down than Americans that aren't at least having the dignity to be in a third world country. Where, because I firmly believe if you're in a third world country, automatically you go to heaven. That's just you. You go to heaven if you're living in a third world country right now. But if you are in a first world country right now, benefiting from that, immediately to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect $100. Fucking immediately to hell, unless you're a real good dude.
Right.
Or a Mormon.
You only have 7 wives.
Yeah. Oh no, not more. You only get into heaven if you're a really nice person or you're a fucking Jehovah's Witness. God, what if they end up being the ones that are right? How fucked would that be?
Oh, it'd be terrible. Jehovah's Witness being right. Dude, imagine if any of those cults are right.
Dude, no, it's all bad.
Scientologists would be the craziest one. Like if that dude, I'm forgetting his name.
L. Ron Hubbard.
L. Ron Hubbard, if he was right.
Yeah.
It's amazing that people believe that. People really believe anything. Like crazy. If you sell it to them in a nice package and package it nice.
And fear sells, and most of the time it's trying to conquer a fear of death. Whereas, like, obviously, like, it's mostly a joke. I'm a Satanist, but I'm really just like a fucking funny atheist.
Yeah.
It's kind of, and I do study like, I have read the Satanic Bible by Anton Salazar LaVey. Yeah, it's the guy. I think LaVey like just died. Like he's pretty well a contemporary. But LaVeyan Satanism is less about like celebration of any, celestial being and more of a celebration of the self. Like your own birthday is the most important holiday of the year.
Really?
Yeah. So it's sort of that's sort of the philosophy I take from that is, to rely on yourself and to rely on yourself and to trust in yourself and to celebrate yourself.
Isn't that funny that Satanism is directly connected to believing in yourself?
Yeah, funny about that. Maybe making people live lives full of guilt make them not want to really play along anymore. I don't know what this Charlie Sheen read is, but I'm liking it. It's very Charlie Sheen. I got tiger blood in me. It's in my ass. It's where I keep it in a little vial. My ass.
Yeah, it's just...
Sorry, you got me on voices. Now you're never going to get me back off.
No, I'm okay with it, dude. I like it. Do you have... what types of animation shit that do you really fucking admire for going after voices like that?
So my favorite show of all time recently, they got canceled and their finale movie released a few weeks ago is The Venture Brothers.
I don't know that.
It's perfect. It's 7 seasons in a movie. It's basically like if you ever saw the old Johnny Quest cartoons from like the 70s, 60s and 70s and into the 80s.
Like, I mean, I've seen them, but like I didn't watch them.
So that was back in the day when Cartoon Network was first like becoming a network. All they had access to was like the old Hanna-Barbera library from like the like 30s all the way up to like the present time. Like Cartoon Network kind of started as like a Hanna-Barbera channel, and eventually they changed that over to Boomerang. But yeah, excuse me. So Johnny Quest was on all the time. It's this show about this kid that is traveling the world with his dad's bodyguard, and like his little brown friend.
Mm-hmm.
So this show is like that universe's Johnny Quest. Actually, that universe's Johnny Quest exists, but there's this kid named Rusty Venture. He was that kid, grows up to become just a miserable fucking failure. His dad died and his life fell apart, and he was never able to get it back together. And it takes the piss. It starts by like taking the piss out of shows like that, but then it eventually evolves into like taking the piss out of like superhero shows and superhero movies and things like that. But it was the brainchild of 2 guys, Jackson Public and Doc Hammer. both of whom I haven't met Jackson Public. I have met Doc Hammer a few times. He's a very, very sweet man.
Where'd you meet him?
I met him at Dragon Con in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Big nerd convention.
So
got to see his goth band play, which was pretty cool.
He is a goth band?
A goth band, yeah.
That's sick.
And I like goth music. So.
But what was the type of interaction? Was it like a sign thing
or
autograph thing?
So it's a mix with him.
Okay.
Because there were times I would just run into him and be like, "Hey, what's up?" And he didn't really know me. And then, the next year, we were at a panel that he was on. It was literally just like "Good morning" with Dr. Venture or whatever, or "Good morning" with Doc Hammer. Because he's a teetotaler, he doesn't drink, so he would always do these early morning panels to see who partied hard the night before. And it was like always after the Venture Brothers party, so we were all fucking hungover in there. And through those, we got a little bit closer, and then it got to the point where we'd run into each other in hallways. Oh, hey, what's up, dog? Oh, Bryant, what's up? We shake hands, bullshit for a second, and then go on our way. Dragon Con's weird like that. I should take you.
Really cool.
Yeah, Dragon Con's crazy like that. But yeah, so as the brainchild of Doc Hammer and Jackson Public, and most of the voices are done by either one or both of those guys. And then the other, Patrick Warburton's on it.
This is crazy amounts of history,
dude. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a fucking cartoon historian.
No,
I'm a lot of things historian. I love history. I love
going.
how we got to it. But anyway, the show is really good, and it's basically just two guys doing all the voices, which is rare because
Jack and.
Jackson Public and Doc Hammer. Doc Hammer,
Hammer.
One of the main characters is she started the series as Dr. Girlfriend. She ends the series as Dr. Mrs. the Monarch. But she's this absolute.
Is he a real doctor?
No. It's they always went by stage names.
Sure.
But this character is this smoke show woman, and she talks like this. And so you hear this voice and you have this certain image in your head, and hang on, let me pull up a picture of her. Actually, Google it for you people that are watching at home. Pull up a picture of Dr. Girlfriend.
Sorry, there we go.
It's fine. All right, so go to images. Hang on.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, just go to images because there are gonna be some hot ones. Yeah, that third one from the.
Let's get this shit. Not there. Which one?
Third one. Yeah, that one.
Oh, wow.
And this is the voice that is coming out of that body.
That's hilarious.
It's so goddamn funny. And she's married to this arch villain named the Mighty Monarch. And it's very silly. It's a show that is entirely about the concept of failure. And
wow, I don't think I've ever really heard about this.
Yeah, it is worth your time because it's also super hilarious.
Sure. And this was on Adult Swim?
Yeah, this was on Adult Swim starting in 2002, I want to say. Because they basically released an episode every 2 years for 14 years.
Okay. That's fucking wild. The whole Adult Swim Cartoon Network history is very, very interesting. It is fascinating.
My mom actually worked for them briefly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mom did.
Adult Swim or
Adult Swim.
Adult Swim. Oh, wow.
Well, at the time it wasn't even Adult Swim. It was just Cartoon Network at the time. This predated Adult Swim when Space Ghost Coast to Coast started in the 90s. And she did some production work for Space Ghost Coast to Coast. And because of that, we got all kinds of fucking crazy merchandise back in the day. And then eventually they moved to Adult Swim. And once they moved to Adult Swim as being sort of the model, she ended up going back to just her local TV job that she had. But yeah, I have been literally right there next to the development of Adult Swim my entire life.
That's hilarious.
And I was always an insomniac,
so you're an
I was up watching.
Plant.
I'm an industry plant. Yeah, I'm a Nepo baby. I'm a Nepo baby. My mother hasn't worked in television in fucking 20 years. 25 years. Shit. And it was funny because she started as a secretary at the local ABC affiliate, got moved up into a production job, won some awards, was my mother and therefore hard to work with, and left that job, went to the NBC affiliate. Same thing happened. Left that, went to the UPN affiliate. Same thing happened. And then she just never really worked in TV again. It's a piece of advice to anyone that's getting in any industry. Be easy to work with. Be
Yeah.
easy to work with, be fun to work with, be a joy to work with, be an adult, be professional, and you'll have a good career.
I know we were talking. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay,
That's
no, go.
My fault. I know we were talking about this earlier, but some of the comics, we're not going to name names, but like will show up at the open mics with a horrible attitude.
Dude, and it drives me crazy. I know a handful of them you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is comics that show up with a bad attitude. I, again, not naming names, I had to this was a few weeks ago, I had to almost break up a fight in the sign up at Tiniest. A comic felt slighted because some people had gotten in front of him at the line there, and I'm trying to manage it as best as I can. And there's this group of kids that were up from San Antonio that got in front of him. He started getting in their face. This other guy comes up and is getting kind of in front of me, gets in this guy's face. The kids that were up from San Antonio had been there longer than he had. And then this other guy just didn't know the rules. And he fucking... This comic, who's a local guy that you know and have seen, fucking showed his ass on that stage. Like, figuratively. He didn't actually pull his pants down or anything. Sure. But he showed his ass up there. And then he got up and did a set about it and showed his ass even more. And I haven't seen him around as much. I'm not booking him on my show anymore because of that. And that's one of those important things is you don't know who's watching. You don't know who's seeing you behave like that. Because, there's a comic in town, and he bugs me about booking him all the time, and he, tries to be cool with me. But I had been in town for all of maybe 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Back in November, and when I first really met this guy, and, we shook hands, he introduced himself, all that jazz, and then I went inside and, got a beer and watched some comics at Creek in the Cave that came out, and he was just fucking screaming at this girl. Just letting her have it about I don't know what the details were. He's like, no, you're a bitch. This is why no one in the fucking scene likes you. You suck.
What?
All this shit. And because of that, I came in and I was like, okay, this guy sucks. I'm not going to fuck with this dude. And, this other comic showing his ass during a sign up for an open mic. I'm not going to book you anymore. I'm not going to fuck with you anymore because I don't fuck with people that don't know how to fucking behave. And I do my best whenever I'm at Tiniest Bar to be the arbiter of the line. When I'm there on Thursdays, I am there early. I'm doing it the right way. I'm not saying, because I'm the arbiter of the line, I'm signing up. No, I'm usually, if not the first one there, I'm top 5 when I'm there on Thursdays. Or I just don't sign up if I go and I'm just there for the hang and to, do some scouting. But and it's so important, so fucking important to remember that you don't know who's seeing you behave like that.
Right.
You don't know who's seeing you, have a tantrum.
Right.
It's okay to have a tantrum. I have been guilty of it myself in my past scene, and I've grown from that. And when you're in a small scene, you have one blow up like that, it follows you forever. Right. But out here, if you have one blow up like that, it's fine as long as you handle it correctly.
Right.
After the fact. And these two did not do that. And so I don't fuck with them like that. You have to be so careful because you never know if this guy's a booker in San Antonio. This guy's a booker in fucking Dallas. This guy books a show up in Cedar Park. Mm-hmm. And so it's so important to make sure that your reputation is good and to be to wit what I was talking about earlier. If you want to have a long, happy career, be easy to work with. Be open to feedback. Be open to, be open to understanding that, if you're a comic that's your first 5 years, you've still got dues to pay. Even if those dues are being paid at the Comedy Mothership, you still have to pay them, and even as an old comic coming here, you still have dues to pay. I was moving chairs and setting up equipment at Tiniest for the first 6 months I was here. There were nights last winter. There was a night it got down to 19 degrees, and we did the show anyway. Just say we did a show in 19-degree weather. And
when you can do a show in 19-degree weather,
you can do anything.
You can do anything.
It's true, but so yeah, if you want to have a long career, if you want to have a happy career, fucking be easy to work with, be fun to work with, and be easygoing. Don't take this shit so seriously.
And
like, take it seriously, obviously, but like, fucking, dude, at the end of the day, we're fucking clowns. Lighten up.
We're professional clowns.
Yeah, we are the definition of the people who should be unable to lighten up anymore.
And actually, I think that maybe you and me disagree on this, but I'm actually and you're a lot longer, you're a lot more experienced, but when I go to the open mics, there are some people like Robert Tabbitt, he's not in a bad mood at all, but he's focused. And you can tell he's focused and he's in the fucking game. Yeah. And he's writing and he's thinking about what the fucking crowd is laughing at. And he's trying to put in these punchlines. And that's a different thing, I think, than what we're talking about. And then when someone, we know who we're talking about. We don't need, again, they have bad fucking material. They don't write new material. You can have bad material. I have bad material.
Yeah,
everybody's got bad material. But you got to write. Like, if we don't see any new material, and, like, this is coming from a guy who's a year in. Yeah. Write new material.
Write new stuff. Work harder.
And then, you know? And also, like, but it's different, and then they have a bad mood with that bad material. On top of that, it's not like they're so focused on what's going on.
Yeah, I hold nothing against Tabbitt on that. Like, no. When I'm talking about that, he is so focused. Fucking Tabbitt's like that. Fucking Alex Ollinger's like that.
Very like that.
And then
he scares me. I want to have him on the podcast.
I love him. He is so cool.
He scares me.
He's so cool. No, he's a sweetheart. He's a sweetheart. He's a kitten.
I know. No,
he's a fucking kitten.
But he scares me.
I know. Understandable. Because he could probably eat you in one gulp. He'll grind your bones to make his fucking. He's not even that big. I'm talking about him like he's a giant. I'm taller than the man is. He's fucking like 5'7".
I want to ask him on the podcast.
Dude, do it. He'll probably do it. Yeah. He's a real cool cat, man. I've had him on my show. It's so funny. I had at the boat one night. It was supposed to be Tabbitt was supposed to headline. Tabbitt was headlining. Ollinger was featuring, and I was going to have Matthew Amos before them, and both of them came up to me at Tiniest and were like, "Hey, man, can we talk?" And I was like, "Yeah, what's up? What's going on?" I was like, "You need to make Amos headline that night." And I was like, "What? Okay, like, I trust you, but why?" And he goes, "Because we don't want to fucking follow him. We don't have the energy he has. We can't follow him."
Wow.
And I was like, okay, you know what? I trust you guys. We'll back everything up. He'll headline, Tabbitt, you'll feature, and then Ollinger, you'll be the sub feature. He's like, okay, cool. Boy, were they right.
Wow.
They were fucking right. I don't want to follow Matthew Amos, and I love following someone with a high energy. I just don't think, and you've seen how high energy I am.
Yeah, you are.
I think I might be one of the few people that could even get a glimpse of maintaining the wave that he builds, because he does it like, my high energy is me being goofy, you know?
Right.
Like, I get angry, but it's still like a funny anger.
Right.
His is just like, I'm one of those guys that's funny when I get mad. He's hilarious when he gets mad.
He's Bill Burr.
Yeah, he's got this Burr thing going, and it's incredible.
That's hard to follow, man.
Incredible.
That Burr, Larry David energy is just hard.
Oh,
where
Larry
it's
David.
like, I don't understand it. Like, when they get so angry. And I think I have a little bit of that. I think a lot of my friends say that I have like Burr energy, but like, I don't know how to get that on stage.
See it. I don't see it. You have a lot more, like, I would compare you more to a oh god, what's his fucking name? It's on the top of my head.
To see what you
right off the tip of my tongue. A fucking Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt.
Like,
really?
very Patton, like, very well put together wording and your pacing and energy. It's like, that's kind of what I get out of it, is like a Patton.
I'm not a huge fan of Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, gotcha.
Really?
That's what I get.
Wow. Okay. No, I like that.
Yeah,
I like
it's very clear that you write, is what I'm getting at. Is kind of, I guess, the comparison there. It's very clear that you write and you practice what you write.
Yes.
And you're too clean to compare you to like Brian Regan.
Okay.
Or you're not clean enough to be compared to Brian Regan.
Right.
Because he's like totally clean, but also one of my favorite comedians.
Right. I get dirty sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like to rumble in that fucking dirt sometimes. Those
Dude,
deep
blue
thoughts
jokes are so good.
Dude, I fucking love them so much.
That's why I like going back to that album, Dirty Jokes. Because the whole thing is just Gilbert Gottfried doing dirty jokes. He's got one. This is just one of the tracks. How do you get a faggot to fuck a dyke? You fill up a cunt with shit. And it's a whole album of jokes like that read by fucking Gilbert Gottfried. Young Jamie, I think I've killed him.
You feel a fucking pop shit. That was perfect.
Dude, yeah.
Oh, your delivery there was so good.
Yeah.
That was so fucking amazing.
And it's a whole fucking album of that that ends with 10 minutes of the Aristocrats. You need to listen to this album.
I always find myself, because this is always what you do in the beginning.
Yeah.
Everyone says that, is that you're just kind of recreating what you love.
Yeah.
I always find myself just fucking doing Tim Dillon and George Carlin.
Yeah.
I just find myself all the time, like, trying to be them.
Yeah.
Not like George Carlin at the end, where he was like, this is what this is, and then breaking it down in such a sophisticated way.
Have you ever heard his joke, I kind of like it when a lot of people die?
Yeah.
I got to see him do that live in 2004.
Wait. Mm-hmm. You saw George Carlin live?
In Chattanooga, Tennessee at the Tivoli Theater. I was...
Whatever the fuck we were talking about, we're done talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
You saw George Carlin live.
I shook his hand.
You shook his hand?
Because he was doing that thing that I was talking about earlier that's important. Is if you've got merch, you be at your merch table. And we went to the merch table. We got in line, and he was shaking everybody's hand, giving them a how you do. Sometimes he would like pitch a joke. I told him, I was like, I want to be a comedian someday. Thank you so much for inspiring me. He was like, and he just looked at me and goes, that's nice. And like, I think I bought a copy of one of his books there. But when I saw it, because the story behind it, kind of like it when a lot of people die, right? Like why it took him so long to release it.
No, I actually
So
don't.
when he first wrote the joke, it was supposed to be on a special that came out after 9/11.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and he had been working on it for months at this point.
Yeah.
And he couldn't tell anymore, so he just shelved it. And then he started it back on the tours, I think in like 03, 04, and just going back into it because he was so pissed off about us invading Iraq.
Right.
Because he was always a peaceful beatnik. So we started doing it. I got to see him read that off of index cards in Chattanooga, Tennessee in 2004.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was very cool. Also, like, just his whole thing was really good.
Dude,
he did the incomplete.
what?
He did the
I was
incomplete list of
one.
dirty words.
Oh my god.
He did that night. Like, it was incredible. I actually bought. That's the
I love
merch I
his
bought.
mall bit. His mall bit. America's one big mall.
Oh yeah, America's one big mall. Like, oh god, and that's the thing is like his tonal shifts
Breaks it down layer by
so
layer,
good.
and every
It's so
thought
good.
that you would have is just fucking hit hit there. Bill Hicks is another big one for
Yeah.
me.
Oh yeah. I heard
Hicks.
it. I heard it said once. I can't remember what the other comic was, but it was like everyone. Oh, every first year comic wants to either be Bill Hicks or Norm Macdonald.
I wanted to be Bill Hicks.
I wanted to be Bill Hicks.
And Dom wanted to be Norm Macdonald.
And my little comedy bestie Ian Sharp, he's always wanted to be Norm. He
Macdonald.
still wants to be Norm Macdonald. I cannot wait for you to meet him. Like, we're gonna get to Tiniest early on Thursday because they're coming into town tomorrow.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I've got yeah, this is, I guess, the beginning of the end because I'm starting my plugs. I have 4 comedians from my home region coming in.
This is going to come out, was today? Sunday? This is going to come out Thursday.
So when this is coming out tonight, be at Tiniest Bar in Texas, I'm going to have all these people there, and we are going to get good time slots, and you're going to have your fucking pants blown.
I'm going to make sure I upload this at noon. So
Perfect.
at noon o'clock, it will be up Thursday, and I will promise that. And send me all your plugs. I'll put it in all the description.
Oh, yeah. The comics that are coming, like, I'm a 10-year comic. The 2 that I'm, like, really tight with are my old roommate, Ian Sharp, who is, I think, now an 11 or 12-year veteran. I think 11-year veteran.
Those double digits. I mean, like, those double digits, you can tell.
Yeah.
And you can tell.
Yeah. And I lived with him for 3 years and, like, lived with him through the pandemic, and it was just us bouncing jokes off of each other, and it takes a lot to make me laugh. He has fucking ruined me a couple of times. He's got, like, I'm a dirty comic.
Yeah.
I'm a blue comic.
Yeah.
He makes me look like fucking Brian Regan.
Wow.
He's got some of the filthy stuff. I don't want to tell any of it, but he's at East Austin Comedy Theater, I think, Friday or Saturday night. The other person that I'm real tight with coming up is my friend Bridget Martin. Bridget Martin, like, ran the comedy club in Knoxville for 10 years before she even tried comedy.
Oh, wow.
And then she's a 10-year veteran on top of that. She is also fucking filthy. Like, just the fucking sluttiest fucking girl. And she does this thing, and a lot of people talk about it, and I'm not trying to be sexist, but it's the thing a lot of women comics do, is this thing where women comics will end all of their punchlines going up like they're asking a question.
Oh, yeah.
You see a lot of chicks do that.
Wait, why have I never noticed that?
But I'm right. A lot of chicks do that. She doesn't do that. She does it the way you're supposed to do it, whereas you are making a statement unless you have to. If you're not asking a question, don't use that inflection because it makes everything you say sound kind of samey. Whereas, I can ask a question, but I can also answer it, Right. Up and down. Tonal shifts. Hers, she doesn't even make statements. She makes men's blood curdle. I'm going to tell her I said that. And she's going to be like, oh, you're so sweet. No, like, oh, God, she is. So I'm not going to tell any of her material, but trust me, it's really good.
Are fucking ballsy as shit.
Yeah,
and
they have to be.
Some of the most interesting humans.
They have to be.
Yeah.
They have to be.
Yeah.
But, like, Bridget Martin is, oh, God, she's so funny. I can't obviously give away any of her jokes. Just know she's real dirty. She works real blue. She can work clean, though, if you need her to work clean. But so I can't, like, tell you that, but I want to tell this story. And oh, God, I hope she hears this podcast. I hope she finds it on accident. So
now you have to tell the story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So she and I were doing a road show together in Nashville. We were driving from Chattanooga to Nashville, and we had to go back that night. And the whole time I'm like, I'm not going to drink tonight. I'm not going to drink tonight. It's going to be fine. We get up there, and because we were the out-of-town comics, and the bartender was a friend of mine that was, like, also a comic sometimes. She was mostly also a comic sometimes because her husband was a comic, like one of those things. But she just kept feeding us free alcohol, and we got trashed. Open mic ends. We both, like, closed out the night. I think I featured and she headlined. And then we got roped into, they were doing this, like, game show after. So we did that, and it was real fun. We had a blast. We're outside after, socializing like you're supposed to do when you do comedy. We're outside socializing, and there's this kid there. And this dude had been doing comedy like 1, maybe 2 years. He's still at the game out in Nashville. But he is just falling in love with Bridget. Just is in love with this woman. She's like 6 feet tall. She's like a big lady. And he is just in love with her and just talking all this shit, trying to spit all this game, but it's like that gay kind of submissive game where it's like, I would worship at your fucking feet. You are a goddess. Like that kind of shit at her. And I'm Like,
is he trying to be funny?
No, he was
Wait,
he was
what?
horny for it. He wanted
How
her
old
to.
was he?
I think he was like 20, 21, something like that. He's young.
Oh.
And Bridget's older than I am. Like
that 19 hornies.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Real. It's
yeah.
real.
Oh no, I was 19 once too.
Yeah, it's a thing.
But yeah, he's just horny for it. He wants her to step on him so bad. And
Step on it. You slid that in there so well.
all day with the shit. All day with the shit. Don't you know? I'm a fucking D1 athlete. I'm fucking #1 in this bitch. What's up? What's up? I'm the powerhouse of this cell. I'm the mitochondria. But anyway, so he is just in love with her. And I don't know, like, you've never really partied with me because you're not old enough to yet. But like
I could tell you stories.
Oh no, I'm sure. So like, no, I'm an agent of chaos. I like stirring shit up a little bit. It's why I like Dirty Six as much as I do.
I mean, come on, what's the point of life if you can't stir it up a little bit sometimes?
So tell me, Batman. So I get in her ear and I'm like, I bet you if you tell him to, he'll put your panties in his mouth.
You said that.
Yeah, and like Bridget and I were like kind of like had like a friends with benefits thing going on. So like the whole time we're just kind of like giggling at the young boy that wants it so bad. We're like, yeah, I bet you if you fucking take your panties off and stuff them in his mouth, he'll leave him there. Like, and she did, and he did. Like she put, like, we're on the deck of this bar called Twin Kegs 2 in Nashville, Tennessee. They still have a mic there every Friday. That's like really good.
She take him off in the bathroom?
Nope, just right there on the deck. Like she was wearing a skirt, so she just like reached up in there and wriggled him off, and picked him up, and he just like he opened his mouth like a fucking baby bird. She just stuffed her panties in his mouth. I wish I was making this up.
So she's sitting there with her pussy hanging out.
Like down to her knees, dog.
She's sitting there with her pussy hanging out, and his mouth is full of fucking pussy juice and panties. In public.
Yup. And we had to drive 2 hours home. She left the panties with him. Said, "Here, kid." It was like a fucking football player throwing a jersey.
So it's almost better. It's almost the story after is better. So you drive home with their pussy hanging out in the car.
Windows down.
Windows down.
I'm kidding. No, because she'll get mad at me if I tell that and I don't tell this part of the story. So like she and I at the time had like a friend with benefits thing. So we're coming down Monteagle Mountain, which is like the only tall mountain in Middle Tennessee. And it's like kiss your ass curves the whole way down. It's a pain in the ass. And like the whole way down, I am driving the car, keeping us at speed, and fingering her. And she was loving it. We were having a great time. Oh God!
That's so good. That's so good.
And
then he went home and masturbated with the panties.
0% chance he didn't. 0%. No, he was fucking messaging her for weeks after.
Do you have a bit of that?
Do what?
Yeah. Do you have a bit?
No, I don't even.
To see
I
it on
need to
stage.
do that on stage at some point. But it's just,
So do
it's
you
one
want-
of those stories that's so insane.
Do you want to know why I'm really good at writing new material? Is because what just happened right there. I'll go back. I'll do stuff like that with Dominic, and then just listen to that story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I need to go back and listen to that.
Right. Exactly.
Because that's
you
definitely.
said it perfectly.
I need
right
to tell
there.
it because and that's the thing is I don't know if she has a version of her own that she does on that, but Jesus Christ.
Who gives a fuck?
Oh no! I kind of want us both on the same show.
Okay,
Like the same
I
show.
want you on
Because she's
stage
told it on stage
together.
before. She's told it on stage before. She
that's
told
so
it. It wasn't, and it cracked everyone up like it did you. But when she did it, it was on this roast that we were on together. Like I was the roast master for this show, and I booked her for it, and then she just told that story. Well, no, she didn't tell that story. She told the me fingering her on the way down a mountain part, but she didn't tell the stuffing her panties in a fucking.
She just did the
kid's mouth.
aftermath. The whole story is so good.
God, it's so funny.
That whole
And
story is so good.
oh shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
fucking
wow.
and so I'm an agent of chaos.
Yeah. That's
I
great.
love, like I was saying earlier, I've been accused multiple times of being a figment of people's imagination.
Oh, me too.
And sometimes I wonder.
Dude,
oh
my
God, that
middle-
means when you and I get together going and partying, it's gonna get bad.
Oh, dude,
It's gonna get bad.
When I was 6, I had a Jesse Pinkman phase. Yeah, a lot of people don't suspect this of me. I had a serious. I sold drugs every day for 6 hours every day in my car.
Jesus.
And I was prostituting this one girl for like an entire summer, and I was doing it like all the time.
God damn.
And
God damn. My story's happy-go-lucky. Yours like, so yeah, I used to be a fucking gangster and shit. Yeah, my name's Push T. I'm like, hang on, I can't do iced tea. I've got a buddy that does a perfect iced tea. I need to introduce you to someday. He reads Shakespeare as iced tea. And it's great. So it's that same voice, like I want to shoot you so bad my dick is hard. But instead it's like, alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio.
And it was really funny because I had a podcast as I was drug dealing. So like the end of my drug dealing phase was the start of my podcasting phase. And that's sort of how I got rid of like the high of being a drug, because there's a high that comes with being a drug dealer. Like not necessarily being addicted to drugs, but when you're 16, and I'm dyslexic, so I was always told that I was retarded and dumb as fuck. But when you're a drug dealer and you have $400 you made in 3 hours, you're like, I'm a king.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking king.
Yeah.
And no one's gonna fucking
What were you
say
selling?
no to that. The most I got to was acid.
Oh, nice.
So I was selling.
So you've taken psychedelics before?
I've never taken psychedelics.
Really? You never took them?
No. I always knew that.
Smart not to get high off your supply.
Well, I would get high off the marijuana supply.
I mean, yeah.
Obviously. Yeah.
Obvi.
You gotta do
Yeah,
that.
duh.
I mean, but it was just.
You're selling the other stuff, so you have enough marijuana. So you have enough weed. It's like, no, I sell acid. Oh, what do you do with the money? Smoke weed mostly. I smoke weed and I masturbate a lot.
It was basically me, and now it got started because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I got addicted to weed during sophomore year of high school. COVID hits sophomore year of high school. I go broke because there's no jobs. Start selling drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, just like a natural order of things.
Yeah.
And then there was this girl, and then this girl happened, and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I want to be a comedian.
Yeah.
And because it was the thing that sold me on being a comic was Joe Rogan talking about on Joe Rogan podcast of how comics interact.
Yeah.
This right here.
Yeah.
This is my favorite part.
Yeah, we try to pop each other, and then we have a serious moment, and then we try to pop each other again.
Yeah,
and it's
of
fucking
course.
fun. It's
And
what I love about it.
The constant ball busting.
Dude, it
It's
is
just
rough.
It's rough.
But it's fun, though.
Oh, it's great.
Like, it's so much fun.
It's great.
Like, my roommate that's coming in, Ian, so we we worked together because we were both like big D&D nerds and shit like that.
Sure.
So we were doing a comedy show at this local convention, and we were also like guests for the gaming room. So we had like prioritized tables for running tabletop games. And because we did that, we both got a shirt from the local like gaming group that like put all that together. And every now and again, we would, wake up in the morning and both be wearing the same shirt, and we would like, it was whoever could get it out of the gun first. It was, nice shirt, faggot. Again, every morning have, or otherwise though, it was a lot of, what's up, faggot?
Right, of course.
Morning, queer. And the ball busting with him was rough. Because he's a mean old sumbitch. He's just the meanest roast comic I've ever seen. I
gotta meet him,
dude. Yeah, I want him to. So I haven't even done fucking Banana Phone because like that's not my kind of comedy. It's not what I do. I want him on Banana Phone. Real loud. Because he might make someone cry. He is really mean. He is a mean old sumbitch. Mean old snake in the grass.
Like him.
You would love him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said some of the meanest shit I have ever heard in my life. I cannot wait for you guys to meet him. I don't want to bust anything because I don't even know when he's gonna pop out.
Right.
He's on that roast I told you about.
Yeah, I haven't done Banana Phone yet because it's 21 plus.
Yeah.
All Creek in the Caves are 21
and over. Yeah,
which is gay, but
it's super gay. But I mean, gives you time to hone at the places you can get in at Lazy Days,
it does.
And at Lazy Days at whatchamacallit, Tiniest.
There was Friends and Allies that just stopped. Spinners lets you go up, but that just stopped too. So we'll see.
Where's Spinners?
Spinners was the black open mic, and it was at like a bar. And
it was on Rainy, right?
Yeah,
and I think Khalil. I think Scoob the Hustler has a mic down there now. I need to holler at him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because that's the thing is my show's steadily becoming a black room, and I'm okay with it.
I mean, hey,
it's fucking they actually respond. They tip.
I mean,
they have fun.
Me and Liz had this conversation the other day about, it's very similar with the Jews. Jews and black people are fucking funny people, and they like to laugh.
Yep.
And we talked about it, and it's because those people fucking go through tough shit.
They went through it.
They go through tough shit every day, and they need a fucking release of pressure. Yep. And if you don't, people who have these nice, easy fucking lives, they're handed the most of, not everybody, but they're handed, they're given handouts a lot, and they just don't understand comedy.
Yeah.
Like, what is the point of comedy?
Yeah.
But to people who struggle, laughter is
medicine. It's why it's like so weird in my home scene. Everyone that is like the quote unquote brass in that scene, like everyone that books shows there, all that, they're all fucking they were all homeschooled. Like almost all of them were homeschooled.
Okay.
There are like two that weren't, but they're all also like they're not Christians, but they're totally Christians, kind of deal. And so it's so weird because like kids that are homeschooled, like unless you were getting fingered by your uncle back behind the barn, like you're not gonna be funny. You don't have that kind of generational trauma to be fucking funny.
And what do you talk about?
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? Most of them talk just about being homeschooled. No, it's fucking weird. I was homeschooled. Oh, my teacher used to call me dumb. I was homeschooled. And it's the same fucking jokes from fucking all of them, and it drives me crazy. Anyway, it's bland white people shit.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm not bland white people. I'm very spicy white people.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking English potato white people. I'm fucking Russian vodka white people.
Right. It's different.
Yeah, and it's so strange to me because, like, culturally speaking, those are the least funny people. Are people that had it easy. People that, like, you don't... I've said this for years, is nobody comes to comedy. No one starts doing comedy because shit was going the way they had planned in their life.
No. Well, no. You don't want to again, you don't want to wish this on anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, you come to comedy because you always would watch comedy when you were feeling bad as a kid, and now, you're an adult. It's like, I'm feeling bad. Maybe I should try telling dick jokes.
And you have a fucking void inside you.
Exactly.
That you're trying to fill through laughter. And it can help, but I mean, it's never going to be enough.
You're never going to fill it.
Yeah,
but it's better filling it with that than heroin.
Of course.
Of
course. Well, that's the thing about is that you can always try and get more laughs.
Exactly.
So that void that you have, you can fill it a little bit more every single time that you hear a laugh. Mm-hmm. And that's like the beauty, or maybe not the beauty, of like being a comic.
Yeah.
Is that you need this. This is what you do because. Not because you want it, because you have to.
Not because you want it, because you need it.
Yes.
And like that's where I'm at. That's where I have always been with this and even before comedy, when I was doing stage theater, when I was doing improv, when I was doing karaoke, I had that need to be an entertainer and to entertain people and maybe help them get their minds off of the bullshit that is their life for a minute.
And that's huge. It's a type of magic. It
feels nice. It feels real nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Like five. This is my sister. She tried to do comedy once. They sent her to Gulag.
I don't know if you fucking heard about this kind of off subject, but Brazil has made a law that if you say faggot, you can get thrown in prison for 5 years.
I haven't heard that, but I mean,
it's brand new.
Yeah, that's definitely not something I think will ever fly in America because, like, at the end of the day, our First Amendment is the protection of free speech. Now, with that said, the protection from free speech protections doesn't mean that you're not, just because you have free speech doesn't mean that you're free from the consequences of what you say.
Right.
If you drop an N-bomb, you're going to get your ass whooped.
Yeah.
And no one's going to roll on anyone else, so no one's going to jail for it. And you're going to lose your job. It's, but also the other side of that coin is, when it comes to like actual shit like that, America's never going to pass any laws against it or anything like that. But the greatest award you can receive as a journalist isn't the Nobel, or isn't the Pulitzer. It's being killed by the CIA.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the greatest award you can receive as a journalist is to be killed by the CIA.
Yeah, you get a little poison in your coffee.
Yeah, a little poison in your coffee. Little, it's like the CIA said, "Oh, we never did anything bad," and awarded themselves that on the fucking research that they did on themselves. Fuck the CIA. Fuck them. Oh man.
Do you know who Dave Smith is?
Not off the top of my head.
He's a comedian. He goes on Joe Rogan a lot. He's very, very, very intelligent. He just dropped his first 30-minute special. I think he's like 10 years in.
Yeah.
Very intelligent. A lot smarter. You know when you meet a comic that's really smart and you're like, what the fuck are you doing
Never
here?
met a comic smarter than me.
Well, this
so.
guy...
I'm kidding.
No, but he's one of those guys who probably could be like a scientist, but is just like still lost.
Yeah. It's like I could be a scientist, but I discovered acid, and now all I want to do is microdose and talk about how weird my butthole smells during the summer.
And he's one of those guys. He's very fucking funny,
Yeah.
but he talks all about like the CIA and the proxy wars that they.
Oh yeah. I'm very familiar with that shit. Like I've got a bit that like touches on it a little bit, that I haven't told in a while, but yeah, I've got like way too much knowledge on that to go into here with the time we have remaining.
Right. Well, maybe the next time.
Time I come by, yeah, we'll just do a whole conspiracy thing. I'll break down to you. Let's go. I will break down to you my theory on who funded the Oklahoma City bombing. Because there was a obviously it was Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols. There was a third co-conspirator that was like involved on the day of, and they were funded by a small town in Oklahoma that's Christian nationalist. I will go into that in great detail with you next time.
Yeah, let's go.
But yeah, I have actually got to get rolling because I have got video games to play.
Of course.
Because Baldur's Gate 3 came out this week, and tonight's the last chance I'm going to have to play it for a minute.
Well, we've been recording now. It's been, what? Fucking
3 hours.
2 hours and 5 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah, so we've been going ham.
Or 2 hours, 30 minutes or whatever.
Damn.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours, whatever.
Something like that. We've been going all night long. All night long. All night. Hang on.
But
yeah, it's like, oh yeah, because I got here at like 3:30 on the money. So yeah, we've been here for like 3 hours. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so we've been recording for like 2.5 hours.
Let's fucking go.
This has been episode 143.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Brian Smith, for coming on. Dude, this was seriously, I'm not kidding you, top 10 podcasts I've ever done.
Dude, this is top 10 that I've been a guest on. This was a lot of fucking fun. I cannot wait to be back.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Oh, dude, just let me know.
I'll reach out
to
you.
We'll make it work.
Whatever.
I'll get my people together with your people. We'll have them call each other. We'll have them go and make out behind the office, and that's how business is actually done in Hollywood. Is you go out behind the office and you make out with your boss, and you know you're gonna be famous someday. God damn, that got dark in a hurry. So I do have some plugs here. I am going to be at the Boat ATX every Monday, except for the 4th of September. We're at the Boat again on September 11th, and then every Monday after that through the end of the year, minus like Christmas or whatever. And then on top of that, I am at the Dig Pub in Cedar Park, Texas, every Friday night. Come out and check that one out. Both of those are free shows. You can catch me at the Creek in the Cave for Litty Titty Tuesdays on the 5th. And then on the 8th, you can catch me at Austin East Siders for Outlaw Comedy. So make sure you come out and see my shows. Follow me on Instagram at Mickey Louse Club.
Dude, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, man.
If you made it this far, God bless you. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for fucking listening. Bryant, we're welcome any fucking time.
Dude, thank you, man, so much. This was so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.